Chapter 21:10. The Emperor? I'll fight him sooner or later. Let's see who's stronger then. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he said flatly. There was no doubt about the Emperor's strength. Ling Xiao had seen how terrifying the Emperor's Taoist body was. If not for the War God Hall's home ground, it would not have been easy for him to defeat the Emperor's Taoist body. However, the stronger the opponent, the stronger the fighting spirit in Ling Zhao's heart. Buzz. Light flashed in Ling Zhao's palms, and two resplendent balls of light appeared in an instant. They looked gorgeous and dazzling, as if they contained two mysterious worlds. The chaotic fog was so dense that people couldn't see them clearly. These are the small worlds of Tongtian Demon Saint and Holy Sun Muyuan? Feng Qingyang's eyes flashed as he asked in surprise. That's right. These are their small worlds. I've already killed the two of them. Now it's time for us to split the loot. The treasures in their small worlds should not disappoint me. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. Generally, the small worlds in the bodies of experts would collapse with the death of the expert. It was extremely difficult to take them out completely. Ling Xiao had only obtained these two complete small worlds because he had killed Tongtian Demon Saint and Holy Sun Muyuan with lightning speed, coupled with the mysteries of the heaven-devouring secret skill. The sky-piercing demon sage is vicious and merciless. Who knows how many treasures he stole? Holy Sun Muyuan was a hypocrite. Although he did things secretly, he also obtained many opportunities and creations in the chaotic ancient land. However, these are all treasures that you obtained. There's no need to give them to me. Feng Qingyang shook his head. Let's see what's inside first. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. Buzz. The miniature worlds of the sky-reaching Demon Saint and Saint Muyuan trembled slightly. After the two of them died, the seals they left behind became much weaker, allowing Ling Xiao to open them very easily. Ling Xiao directly poured out the treasures in the two small worlds. Dazzling divine light bloomed, causing the void to tremble. It was extremely dazzling and revealed countless treasures of heaven and earth. Feng Qingyang couldn't help but shudder as he sucked in a breath of cold air. How many treasures did these two bastards take? Feng Qingyang said in disbelief. The first thing he saw was the origin source pills. There were many cave mansions of experts in the primal chaos ancient land. Those cave mansions not only contained powerful inheritances, but also a huge amount of origin source pills. Feng Qingyang could see that the Tongtian Overlord Beast Overlord and Saint Muyuan had over 1 million origin pills. With over 1 million origin pills, even a pig could be forcefully pushed to the saint realm. Even many saints did not have such a rich net worth. The origin source pill was sparkling and translucent, flowing with the mysterious power of laws. It was about the size of a longan and floated in the void like a mighty heavenly river, mysterious and unfathomable. In addition to the millions of origin pills, there were also many precious medicines. The lowest was a half-step saint medicine, and most of them were origin saint medicines. Each of them was sparkling and translucent, overflowing with light and color, and emitting a mysterious fragrance that greatly raised the spirits of those who smelled it. There were a total of more than 30 origin source sacred herbs. Ling Xiao could recognize that most of these origin source sacred herbs were ancient sacred herbs that had been lost in the divine world. They could be used to refine several kinds of high-level sacred pills. Longevity grass. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed. He had discovered the longevity grass that he had been looking forward to for a long time in the sky-reaching Demon Saints collection. The longevity grass was only about a foot tall. It was verdant, and its leaves looked like they were carved from jade. It was incomparably exquisite, and contained an incomparably vast and pure aura of life. Although the longevity grass did not look very impressive, Ling Xiao could feel the vast life force within it. This was the main ingredient for refining the longevity golden pill. I wonder what kind of fortune the sky-reaching demon sage encountered. There are actually 3 stalks of longevity grass here? Feng Qingyang was also a little surprised. Previously, they had obtained the 3 longevity golden pills refined by Skirich Demon Sage's clone. Originally, they had assumed that Skirich Demon Sage had used up all the longevity grasses. Unexpectedly, There were still 3 longevity grasses here. This was a pleasant surprise. There are treasures everywhere in the chaotic ancient land. I'm afraid he must have obtained the inheritance of some expert, Ling Xiao said after some thought. In addition to the origin source divine herb, Ling Xiao also discovered 7 or 8 holy treasures. However, most of them were lower-grade holy treasures, so Ling Xiao and Feng Qingyang did not pay much attention to them. However, Skirich Demon Sage's Ghost Head Saber and Holy Sun Muyuan's Cursed Scepter attracted Ling Xiao's attention. 2 upper-grade holy treasures, and their power is quite extraordinary. And no, this Cursed Scepter is a little strange. Ling Xiao observed it carefully. Suddenly, his expression changed, and his eyes flashed. He saw that the Cursed Scepter was shrouded in a faint layer of sealing power. The runes of law intertwined within it, and there seemed to be ancient characters hidden within. Could it be the Heaven Curse secret skill? Ling Xiao's body trembled, and his eyes immediately revealed an extremely excited expression. The Heaven Curse secret skill of the Heaven Curse sect was also one of the 12 sky skills. It was also known as the Curse Sky skill, and it contained the Great Way of Curses. When Ling Xiao was fighting with Mu Yuan, he did not discover that Mu Yuan had used the Heaven Curse secret skill. He thought that Mu Yuan did not cultivate the Heaven Curse secret skill, but he did not expect such a pleasant surprise. Ling Xiao used a powerful technique to break the sealing power on the Curse Scepter. Suddenly, ancient runes flew out from it and slowly integrated into Ling Xiao's primordial spirit. The wordless heavenly book also began to shine. It absorbed the runes on the Curse Scepter, and a mysterious scripture slowly emerged. 7th Heaven Dipper Secret Skill, Heaven Curse Secret Skill. Incomplete. The runes on the Curse Scepter were indeed the Heaven Curse Secret Skill. However, to Ling Xiao's disappointment, it was only an incomplete version of the Heaven Curse secret skill. It's a pity that I can't capture Mu Yuan's primordial spirit alive. Otherwise, I might be able to interrogate the Heaven Curse secret skill. Ling Xiao thought with some regret. Ling Xiao, do you want to obtain the Heaven Curse secret skill? Mu Yuan's Curse Scepter is only an imitation of the real Curse Scepter. The Curse Scepter of the Heaven Curse sect is a sect treasure, a supreme imperial weapon. Only it has the complete Heaven Curse secret skill. Feng Qingyang seemed to have guessed Ling Xiao's thoughts and said slowly, I do want to obtain the Heaven Curse secret skill, but unfortunately, it's only an incomplete version. Ling Xiao nodded and said, an incomplete version? It's not impossible to obtain the complete Heaven Curse secret skill. Feng Qingyang suddenly raised his head and said, oh, what kind of opportunity? Ling Xiao asked. The chaotic ancient land is extremely mysterious. Legend has it that it's the origin of the myriad worlds. It's the foundation of all secret skills in the myriad worlds. Even the Heaven Curse secret skill can be found here, but it's not that easy. Feng Qingyang said slowly, can the complete Heaven Curse secret skill be found in the chaotic ancient land? Ling Xiao could not help but feel a rush of excitement. He suddenly thought that if the complete version of the Heaven Curse secret skill could be found in the chaotic ancient land, then the 12 sky skills could also be found in the chaotic ancient land. At the thought of this, Ling Xiao was inexplicably excited. After all, the 12 sky skills were the sect treasures of the 12 immortal sanctuaries. Even the saints of the 12 immortal sanctuaries had only obtained an incomplete version. It was extremely difficult to obtain the complete version. Even if Ling Xiao became a divine sage, he was not confident that he could obtain the 12 sky skills from the 12 immortal sanctuaries. Chapter 21:11. Legend has it that the wordless heavenly book and the other 10 great chaotic treasures were born in the chaotic ancient land. The 12 sky arts were originally recorded in the wordless heavenly book. In the chaotic ancient land, let alone the complete heavenly mantra secret skill, even all the 12 sky arts could be found. But I'm afraid it won't be that easy. Feng Qingyang nodded. He had stayed in the Primal Chaos Ancient Land for 3 years and knew some of the secrets of the Primal Chaos Ancient Land. Then you should have the complete Yin-Yang secret skill with you, right? Ling Xiao said all of a sudden. There was a hint of a smile in his eyes. Feng Qingyang's expression froze and he jumped up instantly. He looked at Ling Xiao with great vigilance and said, "Don't even think about it. The Yin-Yang secret skill is the supreme heavenly art of the Taishang Taoism Palace. I only have the Yang scroll, it's not complete. But I can't pass it on to you. Don't be so nervous. I'm just discussing with you," Ling Xiao said with a smile. "There's nothing to discuss. Ling Xiao, if you force me to hand over the Yin-Yang secret skill, I'd rather die than do it," Feng Qingyang said with a red face. "You haven't heard my conditions yet. How about this? I'll give you a complete secret skill in exchange. Anyway, you only have the Yang scroll. It's not the complete Yin-Yang secret skill, so it's not considered divulging the sex secrets. I'll give you a complete secret skill, and you'll get a big bargain." Ling Xiao was still smiling as he spoke. A complete secret skill? Although there are 108 Heavenly Dipper and Earthly Fiend secret skills, the most powerful one is the 12 Sky Arts. Don't try to fool me with those ordinary secret skills. If you want to exchange it for my Yang scroll, unless you give me a complete Heavenly Arts secret skill. Feng Qingyang coldly snorted, but his eyes revealed an incomparably tempted expression. If he could exchange the Yang scroll for a complete Heavenly Arts secret skill, it would be beneficial to the Taishang Taoism Palace and could greatly increase Feng Qingyang's strength. After all, although the 12 Sky Arts were the secret skills of the 12 immortal sanctuaries, it did not mean that it had never been spread. After all, many powerful races in the heavenly world had dabbled in the secret skills of the heavenly art. No problem. How about I use the secret art of reincarnation to exchange for your Yang scroll? The secret skill of Samsara is the supreme skill of the Samsara Temple. It contains the secrets of the cycle of life and death. If you can cultivate it, your strength will be greatly enhanced, Ling Xiao said patiently. When Ling Xiao heard that Feng Qingyang had the Yang hand scroll, he immediately decided that he had to get his hands on it. The complete Yin-Yang secret skill was divided into the Yin scroll and the Yang scroll. Since the Yang scroll was in Feng Qingyang's hands, Ling Xiao was sure that the Yin scroll was in Jin Sei's hands. Obtaining the Yang scroll almost meant that Ling Xiao had obtained the complete Yin-Yang secret skill. However, Feng Qingyang did not know the relationship between Ling Xiao and Jin Sei, so he did not think of this point. Samsara Temple's secret skill of Samsara? You even have this? Feng Qingyang's body trembled as his voice trembled. Among the 12 Sky Arts, the Yin-Yang secret technique was only ranked 10th while the reincarnation secret technique was ranked 4th. If Feng Qingyang could exchange the reincarnation secret technique with the Yang scroll, it would be a huge gain for him. That's none of your business. Anyway, it was by chance that I obtained the complete secret reincarnation technique. Do you want to exchange? If you don't want to, then forget it, Ling Xiao said with a smile. It had to be said that Feng Qingyang was really tempted. Although he did not believe that Ling Xiao obtained the reincarnation secret technique by chance, everyone had their own opportunities, so he did not want to delve too deeply into it. However, Feng Qingyang still felt that something was wrong. Ling Xiao's smile made him feel that there was some kind of conspiracy, but he did not feel that anything was wrong. I'll exchange, but you have to pass the reincarnation secret technique to me first. Feng Qingyang thought for a while and gritted his teeth as he agreed. Very good. You've made the right choice. This is the reincarnation secret technique. Take a look, I didn't take advantage of you, Ling Xiao said with a smile. A bright light shone in his palm and a bright crystal ball appeared. It was filled with chaotic mist and runes, looking mysterious and bright. This is the imparting crystal? Feng Qingyang's eyes revealed a trace of surprise. For a supreme technique like the reincarnation secret technique, it contained the heavenly Tao and could not be written in words. It required special divine runes and powerful mental strength to condense the imparting crystal. Ling Xiao was able to condense the imparting crystal because his primordial spirit was strong enough. Otherwise, it would be impossible for anyone below the sage realm to condense the imparting crystal. Feng Qingyang almost believed that this was the secret art of reincarnation. He placed the imparting Tao crystal between his eyebrows and poured his powerful mental strength into the crystal. An incomparably mysterious scripture reverberated with the sound of a great bell and intertwined with the principles of the great Tao. It slowly integrated into Feng Qingyang's primordial spirit. Rumble. Feng Qingyang's body was surrounded by lightning. Blazing lightning rose and spewed out mysterious nine-colored light. The vast great Tao law descended and shrouded Feng Qingyang like a jade necklace. There seemed to be a mysterious concept of reincarnation around him, making him look incomparably mysterious. After a long time, Feng Qingyang slowly opened his eyes. His eyes were filled with excitement. This is really the reincarnation secret technique. You didn't lie to me. Well, the Yang scroll is yours. Feng Qingyang said seriously as he took out a Tao imparting crystal. However, this imparting crystal was given to him by his master. It was not like Ling Xiao who condensed it himself. It also contained a chance to inherit the Yang scroll. Thank you. Ling Xiao nodded seriously. He knew that although Feng Qingyang had gained a great advantage, he was willing to exchange the Yang scroll with him, which meant that he was taking a great risk. No need. We are just taking what we need. Feng Qingyang raised his head and said proudly. Ling Xiao smiled indifferently. He picked up the imparting crystal and placed it between his eyebrows. Rumble. It was as if a blazing sun was blooming with infinite light. It directly appeared in Ling Xiao's sea of consciousness. The sun exuded an eternal aura and contained the mystery of the supreme Yang. Ling Xiao's sea of consciousness was completely illuminated. In the boundless light, the way of the supreme Yang flowed. The laws of the great way descended, causing Ling Xiao's primordial spirit to become crystal clear. He began to rapidly comprehend the true meaning of the great way contained within. Using this imparting crystal to inherit the heavenly technique was the fastest way to comprehend the mystery of the heavenly technique. Ling Xiao was almost instantly sure that this was the Real Yang scroll. Chapter 21:12. Ling Xiao then checked the micro-worlds of the Skirich Demon Saint and Saint Mu. He found that there were only some ordinary elixirs and martial arts techniques. There were no treasures that caught his eye. However, he had gained a lot this time. Not to mention the origin elixirs and origin source sacred elixirs, the incomplete heavenly curse secret skill was already a pleasant surprise. These origin elixirs and origin source sacred elixirs could strengthen Ling Xiao's cultivation and accumulate more power. This would increase his chances of breaking through to the third stage of heaven treading. After all, Ling Xiao's foundation was too strong. He had accumulated more power than his peers. Naturally, it would be 10 times or even 100 times harder for him to break through to the next stage. Feng Qingyang, take out the sky-reaching jar that you got from Taoist Wang He. I think it's extraordinary. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he smiled. Sky-reaching jar? Are you talking about this? Feng Qingyang was slightly taken aback. The grayish-brown jar appeared in his palm. There was a layer of seal on top of it. It looked very ordinary, but those with keen divine perception would be able to discover that there was an incomparably vast fluctuation within it. That's right. Open it and take a look. Although Ling Xiao knew that the fragment of the good fortune jade disc was hidden in the sky-reaching jar, he could clearly feel that there was another treasure in the jar. This made him very curious. Okay. Feng Qingyang nodded. Blazing flames rose from his palm and spread toward the layer of seal. The seal on the sky-reaching jar had been loosened for countless years. It soon dimmed as it was burned by Feng Qingyang's supreme Yang flame. With a crisp sound, the seal on the sky-reaching jar broke. An ancient and vast aura gushed out from it. It contained a mysterious majesty like the might of the heavens. This is the aura of the Supreme Emperor? Ling Xiao and Feng Qingyang were shocked. They looked at each other and said at the same time. They could feel that the aura in the sky-reaching jar was extremely vast, as if it could annihilate everything. It was eternal and did not weaken with the passage of time. Buzz. A roll of bright yellow silk slowly flew out from the heaven-reaching jar. It shone with a dazzling golden light, causing the space around it to tremble slightly. Feng Qingyang stretched out his hand, and the silk scroll flew into his palm. Then, it slowly unfolded, revealing the contents within. Skipped. A large, flamboyant character emitted a dazzling light as though it contained the mysterious laws of space. It wanted to bring Feng Qingyang directly into the void. This is actually a great emperor's decree? Although it was not an offensive Tao, it was a supreme treasure that could save one's life. Using an exalted golden core to exchange for it is indeed not a loss. Feng Qingyang was pleasantly surprised. A supreme golden pill was extremely precious to him. Although he had taken it out in a fit of pique, he still felt extremely pained in his heart. At this moment, he was pleasantly surprised when he saw that the great emperor's decree was inside the heavenly jar. He could feel that if he activated the power of the great emperor's decree, it could allow him to teleport across hundreds of millions of miles of mountains and rivers. It was a supreme treasure that could save one's life. Feng Qingyang was a little hesitant. Logically speaking, Ling Xiao had saved his life, so he should give the great emperor's decree to Ling Xiao. However, he was reluctant to do so. Ling Xiao seemed to have noticed the hesitation in Feng Qingyang's eyes. He smiled and said, "There is nothing to hesitate about. You exchanged it with the supreme golden core. A gentleman does not take what others love. You can keep it for yourself. If you want to repay me, give me this jar. How about it?" This jar? It was originally a vessel of the great emperor's decree. If you want it, just take it. Feng Qingyang heaved a sigh of relief and pretended to be generous. Although he knew that Ling Xiao's request for this jar meant that this jar was definitely not simple, he was a smart person and did not ask further. "Thank you." Ling Xiao smiled faintly and took the sky-reaching jar without hesitation. Ling Xiao had already noticed that the fragment of the good fortune jade disc had been integrated into the sky-reaching jar. This made Ling Xiao even more curious about the origin of the sky-reaching jar. Since Taoist Huang, he knew that there was a supreme treasure in the sky-reaching jar. Why did he not open it himself but instead put it up for auction? The biggest possibility is that Taoist Huang he knows what is in the sky-reaching jar. Or rather, the sky-reaching jar originally belonged to him. It seems that Taoist Huang He's origin is very mysterious. Ling Xiao thought to himself secretly. Rumble. The moment the sky-reaching jar entered Ling Xiao's sea of consciousness, it suddenly shattered and a sparkling jade fragment appeared. It looked flawless and instantly integrated into the full moon in his sea of consciousness. The good fortune jade disc shone with boundless light. Ling Xiao could feel that the good fortune jade disc had become more complete and its aura had become more powerful and mysterious. Although Ling Xiao could not activate the good fortune jade disc as he wished, the good fortune jade disc had saved his life once. Ling Xiao believed that once the good fortune jade disc was collected, it would not disappoint him and would be able to erupt with extremely powerful strength. "Ling Xiao, you killed Holy Sun Myun. I'm afraid the heavenly curse sect will not let you off easily. I heard that Holy Sun Myun was on good terms with the emperor. If the emperor takes action, I'm afraid there will be big trouble," Feng Qingyang said slowly. When he mentioned the emperor, his expression became extremely solemn. The heavenly curse sect? Even if there is a sage, he is just a useless person. As for the emperor, what realm is he in now? Ling Xiao smiled faintly. However, the emperor's strength had left a deep impression on him. Ling Xiao had seen the emperor twice. The first time was when the emperor was born and Zhou Panlong was extremely wary of him. The second time was when the emperor sent someone to give Ling Xiao a decree. In the end, the two great geniuses were killed by Ling Xiao. The emperor's Taoist body descended with unparalleled power. Ling Xiao had a hunch that the emperor would be his greatest enemy. In this chaotic ancient land, there would be a battle sooner or later. The emperor? I suspect that he has reached the third level of the heaven-treading realm and has condensed the three venerables of heaven, earth, and human. He has reached the peak of the heaven-treading realm. This is because I once saw with my own eyes that he killed an expert who had condensed the human venerables with a single move. Feng Qingyang said solemnly. He killed an expert who had condensed the human venerables with a single move? As expected of the emperor's son. Ling Zhao's eyes revealed a trace of incomparably sharp divine light. Battle intent surged from his body, and his aura was concealed. Even if Ling Zhao attacked with all his strength, it was impossible for him to kill an expert who had condensed the human venerables with a single move. Although the sky-piercing demon saint and holy Sun Moon had died in Ling Zhao's hands in the end, Ling Zhao had used all his strength. It was not as easy as it seemed on the surface. The emperor's strength should be above his. Chapter 21:13. Feng Qingyang, I'm going to the Monsters' Saint City to look for some old friends. Do you know where the Monsters' Saint City is? Ling Zhao glanced at Feng Qingyang and asked. The Monsters' Saint City? It's not too far from the human Saint City, but it's in a different space. You'll have to travel through the void and there are many dangerous secret realms along the way. I don't have anything to do, so I'll bring you to the Monsters' Saint City. Feng Qingyang said after some thought. The chaotic ancient land was a vast land, but the 108 holy cities did not belong to the same space. Without a set of coordinates or someone to guide the way, it was very easy to get lost in the chaos and not find the right direction. Ling Zhao and Feng Qingyang left the human Saint City and headed to the Monsters' Saint City. Just as Ling Zhao and Feng Qingyang left the human Saint City, in a secret villa. Reporting to the two elders, Ling Zhao and Feng Qingyang have left the Qingyang Pavilion and left the city. An ordinary-looking woman knelt respectfully in front of the two white-haired old men and said. One of the two white-haired elders was in a white robe, while the other was in a black robe. Their auras were extremely powerful, and they were surrounded by a faint saint aura. Their eyes were filled with coldness and killing intent. They left the human Saint City so soon? How can it be so easy to escape? They must pay with their lives for Mu Yuan. The white-robed elder said coldly. Fortunately, we were prepared. We knew that they wouldn't dare to stay in the human Saint City for long. It's convenient for us to act now that they've left the human Saint City. The black-robed elder said with a cold smile. I'll inform the dragon and tiger saints to kill Ling Zhao and Feng Qingyang. This time, they must die without a burial place. The white-robed elder said with a murderous look. He and the black-robed elder were both saints of the heavenly curse sect. They had severed their cultivation and entered the chaotic ancient land. Now, they had both recovered to the saint realm. Saint Sun Mu Yuan's death had infuriated them. They hated Ling Zhao to the core and wanted to tear him to pieces. However, it was not easy to make a move in the human race's Saint City. Therefore, they secretly hired the dragon and tiger saints to kill Ling Zhao and Feng Qingyang. Elders, Ling Zhao and Feng Qingyang are extremely powerful. I'm afraid they're not weaker than ordinary saints. It won't be easy for the dragon and tiger saints to kill them, right? The ordinary-looking woman said hesitantly. She was a true disciple of the heavenly curse sect. She was good at concealing her aura and whereabouts. She was sent to monitor Ling Zhao and Feng Qingyang's every move. Don't worry. The dragon and tiger sages were proficient in the dragon and tiger combination technique. When the two of them joined forces, they could easily defeat saints of the same level. They were extremely powerful. What's more, they still have a trump card that is enough to make Ling Zhao and Feng Qingyang unable to make a comeback. Coupled with the heavenly curse sect's great emperor's decree, these two will definitely die. The black-robed old man sneered. The decree of the great emperor? Once the extreme Dao emperor's aura is released, Ling Zhao and Feng Qingyang will definitely die. The ordinary-looking woman's heart trembled, and she nodded. The great emperor's decree was a precious treasure. It was a great killing weapon that could even kill a saint. It seemed like Ling Zhao and Feng Qingyang were really going to die. The fall of the two supreme geniuses of the human clan would probably set off a huge earthquake in the human clan's Saint City. Ling Zhao and Feng Qingyang did not know that the conspiracy against them had already begun. Even if they knew, Ling Zhao did not care. In the entire human clan's Saint City, the only person that he cared about was the emperor. The heavenly curse sect was no longer in his consideration. Ling Zhao and Feng Qingyang left the human clan's Saint City together and moved towards the demon clan's Saint City. Ling Zhao and Feng Qingyang's speed was extremely fast. At their current cultivation level, they could already use the Great Void teleportation technique to travel through the void. They could travel thousands of miles in an instant, as if space was nothing. They left the vast and majestic human clan's Saint City. The surrounding was filled with chaotic fog. Below them, there were continuous mountains and rivers and seas. Everything was exuding an ancient and wild aura. In the beginning, there were faint lights flashing around. After Ling Xiao and Feng Qingyang had flown for tens of thousands of miles, an incomparably dark area appeared in front of them. There were mysterious mountains floating amidst the primordial chaos. Huge stars were incomparably desolate, devoid of any aura of life. There were even towering ancient trees taking root in the void. Mysterious rivers flowed in the darkness. Everything looked incomparably mysterious. For some reason, Ling Xiao could feel that this area was incomparably dangerous. It was terrifyingly quiet. Ling Xiao, this area is called the Voidland. Everything you see in front of you may be real, or it may be a projection of millions of miles away. This place is full of danger and the unknown. However, after passing through the Voidland, we will be able to reach the Demon Clan's Saint City. Feng Qingyang said slowly with a solemn expression. The Voidland? What's in there? Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he asked. I'm not very sure either. Although I have been training in the chaotic ancient land for the past few years, I have not been to the Demon Clan's Saint City. Legend has it that the Voidland is a forbidden area that contains an incomparably strange curse. If you are infected by the curse, you will become a part of the Voidland and will never be able to leave. Feng Qingyang shook his head and said, Then let's see what's in the Voidland. It seems like someone is following us? Ling Xiao said as he looked at the dark area in front of him. Suddenly, a divine light flashed in his eyes, revealing a trace of sharpness. After entering the chaotic ancient land, Ling Zhao's divine instinct had become sharper. It seemed that the secret skills of fate and karma had taken effect, allowing him to see the unseen dangers. Ling Xiao vaguely felt that behind him and Feng Qingyang, there seemed to be two incomparably powerful auras that were quietly pursuing them. I don't feel any aura. However, if someone is really following us, I'm afraid it's the people from the Heavenly Curse sect. They are the only ones who hate us to the core. Perhaps those old guys from the Heavenly Curse sect have followed us personally. Feng Qingyang said with some doubts. It shouldn't be wrong. Let's enter the Voidland first. We'll give them a surprise then. Ling Xiao said with a cold smile. In an instant, he displayed the heaven-shrouding secret skill. His entire body seemed to have merged with the surrounding darkness as he shot toward the Voidland instantly. Feng Qingyang also followed closely behind. After a while, a light flashed at the place where Ling Xiao and Feng Qingyang were just a moment ago, and two figures appeared instantly. Chapter 21:14. Rumble. Their bodies exuded a vast saint aura, and the dazzling light condensed into a saint halo behind them. Their bodies were permeated with a mysterious wave of immortality. These were two true saints. They actually entered the Voidland? It seems like they want to pass through the Voidland and head to the demon race's holy city. The young man with a violent aura sneered with sharp eyes. Second brother, Ling Xiao and Feng Qingyang can't be underestimated. Feng Qingyang has condensed the human sovereign realm. Ling Zhao's cultivation is only at the 9th revolution half-saint realm, but he managed to kill the piercing demon saint and Saint Sun Muan. I'm afraid his battle prowess is comparable to an ordinary saint. Although we've accepted this mission, we must be careful. The young man, who looked incomparably feminine, revealed a cruel and cunning look in his eyes. The two of them were the assassins hired by the Heavenly Curse sect, the Dragon and Tiger Saints. The Dragon and Tiger Saints were very famous in the ancient primal chaos land. They were only ordinary 9th revolution half-step saints in the divine world. However, they found a supreme fortune in a sage king's abode after entering the ancient primal chaos land. Not only did they break through to the sage realm in one fell swoop, but they also practiced several powerful sage techniques and divine abilities. In addition, they were ruthless and cunning. Many people had fallen into their hands, and they even had the magnificent feat of killing a saint. In recent years, they had become famous assassins in the chaotic ancient land. They relied on the astronomical rewards to obtain countless resources, making their strength even more unfathomable. The dragon and tiger saints were originally hesitant to accept this mission, but the rewards offered by the heavenly curse sect were too tempting. If they could successfully cultivate a supreme monarch art, they might be able to sweep through the saint realm and become invincible. In addition, the heavenly curse sect had even given them a monarch's decree, so they accepted the mission. Big brother, aren't you overestimating them? Feng Qingyang is nothing to worry about. Ling Xiao only has a strong physical body and a supreme treasure for self-defense. That's why he was able to kill the piercing demon saint and Saint Sun Muon. We have that. They're dead for sure. The young man with the violent aura was called Tiger Sage. He wanted to say something, but Dragon Sage glared at him. He immediately chuckled and shut his mouth. Second brother, be careful with your words. I don't believe in luck. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with being careful. These few years have been smooth sailing. I think you've become a little arrogant. The chaos ancient land is fraught with danger. You can't be too careful. Dragon Sage glanced at Tiger Sage and warned. Tiger Sage's heart turned cold. He nodded and said, Big brother's lecture is right. I'll remember it. However, the nothingness is filled with danger. Where are we going to find them? Let's go in and take a look first. We'll play it by ear. If we really can't find them, then we'll go to the exit of the nothingness. If they want to go to the monster race's holy city, they will definitely pass through there. Murderous intent flashed in Long Sheng's eyes, and he instantly leaped into the void. Ling Xiao? The color of blood filled Tiger Sage's eyes. He licked his lips and a sinister smile appeared on his face. In an instant he chased after Dragon Sage. The nothingness seemed to be a place where reality and illusion intertwined. Everything here was impossible to distinguish between reality and illusion. Even the perception of the primordial spirit was reduced to the lowest level. Those with a weak mind might even be completely lost in the nothingness, never to leave. The land of nothingness was a forbidden area that made people pale at the mere mention of it. Many experts had fallen there, but it was also rumored that the land of nothingness contained supreme fortune and opportunity. It was just that its owner had yet to arrive and was waiting for someone to open it. Ling Xiao and Feng Qingyang entered the nothingness and headed towards the depths. As Ling Xiao and Feng Qingyang had never been here before, both of them were very careful. They used the breath-concealing technique and flew in the dark void. Ling Xiao could see that the huge stars were cold and dry. There was no breath of life. The mountains and mysterious rivers were all floating in the dark void. The surroundings were dead silent. If an ordinary person stayed here for a long time, they would probably go crazy. Ling Xiao, are you sure there's someone following us? Feng Qingyang asked doubtfully. It shouldn't be wrong. However, we have entered the nothingness. The dark void suppresses the perception of the primordial spirit. Moreover, we have concealed our breath. I'm afraid it won't be easy for them to track us. Perhaps we can ambush them once. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he spoke slowly. Ambush? How was he going to ambush them? We know nothing about the nothingness. We don't know who is coming. It won't be a good thing if we rashly confront them. Feng Qingyang asked curiously. I have already sensed that there might be a suitable place for us to set up an ambush. Ling Xiao stared at the dark void in front of him as he spoke. Then he moved forward. There were 3 black stars floating there. They looked as black as ink, without a trace of light. There were no other stars or mountains in the surroundings. It looked bare. However, for some reason, Ling Xiao felt an extremely strong sense of danger from the 3 stars. That was the perception of the secret skill of fate. Ling Xiao believed in the perception of the secret skill of fate, but he still wanted to check it out. Although Feng Qingyang was a little confused, he did not say anything. He followed Ling Xiao to the 3 black stars. Buzz. Ling Xiao and Feng Qingyang didn't feel it until they got close to the 3 stars. The 3 stars were emitting very weak waves like water ripples. It seemed to contain some kind of strange rhythm that was transmitted into the depths of the void. Although the void in the distance was still black, it gave Ling Xiao a different feeling. It seemed to be flickering as if the void was shattered. It was very mysterious. Could these 3 stars be living creatures? Ling Xiao's heart skipped a beat, and a solemn expression appeared in his eyes. He could feel that the 3 black stars were beating like hearts. It seemed to contain an extremely mysterious power. The darkness was extremely dense. It intertwined around the 3 stars and formed a strong force field. It caused the void to be slightly distorted. It seemed that as long as one stepped into this force field, he would be torn to pieces. Chapter 21:15. What a strong, ominous aura. Feng Qingyang's complexion turned somewhat pale. He took a few steps closer to the 3 stars and immediately felt a wave of murderous aura rushing towards him like a tsunami, causing his primordial spirit to palpitate and his heart to beat wildly. He had a feeling that as long as he took another step, he would be completely integrated with the ominous aura in front of him and become a part of the chaos, losing all vitality. According to the positions of the stars, these 3 stars are the 7 kills, the army destroyer, and the greedy wolf, the 3 supreme stars? Could it be that this place used to be a vast starry sky? Ling Xiao was shocked and said in disbelief, "The 7 slaughter, wolf supreme star? The most ominous and ominous power? No wonder it's so terrifying. You're not planning to set up a trap here, right? The 7 slaughter, wolf supreme star is too terrifying. If we're not careful, we'll all die here." Feng Qingyang said with a wry smile. A place of great ominous aura will either nurture a treasure of extreme yang or extreme yin. Do you really think that the 7 slaughter, wolf supreme star is naturally formed? I suspect that someone deliberately set it up. Ling Xiao said with a burning gaze. Someone deliberately set up the 7 slaughter, wolf supreme star? It's impossible. Who could be so generous? Feng Qingyang's body trembled and his eyes revealed a trace of incomparable horror. Feng Qingyang guessed that even a true sage, or even a great sage, would be completely annihilated if they entered the domain of these 3 stars. Feng Qingyang's soul was about to scatter. Feng Qingyang's soul was about to scatter. He guessed that even a true sage, or even a great sage, would be completely annihilated in the domain of these 3 stars. Could it be the legendary Sage King who could set up such a formation? Feng Qingyang dared not think about it anymore. This void was indeed full of unknowns. Wait for me here. I'll go in and take a look. Ling Xiao said slowly. Do you want to die? The 7 slaughter, wolf supreme star is a place of ominous aura. Don't be blinded by any treasure. No treasure is more important than your life. Feng Qingyang hurriedly stopped Ling Xiao and said anxiously, Don't worry. I'm fine. The 7 slaughter, wolf supreme star is only effective on living creatures. It has no effect on inanimate objects. Ling Xiao smiled indifferently and flicked his finger. Immediately, a huge floating rock shot toward Sha Pelang's domain. In the end, it landed on a star and shattered. However, the power of the domain didn't affect it at all. It's useless against inanimate objects, but you're not an inanimate object. You fit? Feng Qingyang said angrily. He wanted to continue to stop Ling Xiao, but his expression changed and revealed a trace of astonishment. Ling Xiao's aura instantly disappeared without a trace. He was like a cold stone. His primordial spirit's fluctuation, vitality, and even his most important fate had all disappeared. Ling Xiao was standing in front of Feng Qingyang, but Feng Qingyang felt that Ling Xiao was like a cold stone. Be careful, I'll be right back. Ling Xiao smiled at Feng Qingyang and shot towards the killing, breaking, and Lang stars. Buzz. Feng Qingyang could feel that the mysterious evil spirit domain between the kill, break, and wolf stars was like a small stone falling into it. Waves of strange fluctuations rippled out, and Ling Xiao quietly entered the domain and disappeared. I should be able to hold on for another 2 hours. I hope I can find out the secret of the killing, breaking, and Lang stars as soon as possible. Ling Xiao thought to himself. The reason why he could conceal his aura and even his primordial spirit and fate was that, in addition to the heaven-shrouding secret skill, he had also used the incomplete secret skill of fate. It was as if he had cut off his own line of fate and completely disappeared in the long river of fate. He had turned into a lifeless rock. However, because the secret skill of fate was incomplete, Ling Xiao could not maintain this state for long. At most, he could only maintain this state for 2 to 4 hours. Rumble. The surrounding darkness seemed to be so dense that it could not be dispersed. It was the most fundamental law of darkness, which intertwined to form a mysterious domain. Murderous intent permeated the air and surged. It was like the murderous intent condensed from the deaths of billions of living beings. It was extremely pure and could annihilate all living beings. This was the pattern of the killing, breaking, and Lang stars. It was also a place of supreme killing intent. Even saints would not dare to set foot in it easily, but Ling Xiao had carefully entered it. He passed through this domain of dark baleful aura and landed on the 7 Kills star. Although this star was incomparably huge, it was filled with monstrous killing intent. Moreover, it gathered into a terrifying storm that connected the sky and the sun. The scene was incomparably terrifying. Ling Xiao could only sense the purest murderous intent. If there really was a living being that could withstand the pressure and come here, they would probably be instantly trapped in the endless murderous illusions and undergo the cruelest trials and tempering. If I can cultivate here for a period of time, my battle prowess will definitely increase greatly. Ling Xiao was rather shocked, but he also felt that it was a pity. Only this kind of pure killing intent could temper the most resolute will and the most powerful physique. However, this was not something that an ordinary person could endure. Otherwise, they would probably explode from the killing intent in an instant, and their souls would completely scatter. It was just a pity that Ling Xiao could not maintain this state for too long. He could not cultivate here for too long. Ling Xiao leaped up and landed on the Alcade star and the Ravenous Wolf star respectively. On the Alcade star, there was the strongest fighting intent. It formed an extremely mysterious illusion, as if it could simulate the scenes of ancient battles and train the strongest battle instincts. On the Ravenous Wolf star, there was the most original murderous intent. It could destroy the primordial spirit and could also reconstruct it. It represented destruction and rebirth, condensing a powerful force. Murderous intent, fighting intent, and murderous intent. These 3 most original forces formed the dark pattern of the killing, breaking, and Lang stars. However, Ling Xiao did not discover anything special on these 3 stars. What's that? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. Suddenly, he saw that in the center of the 3 stars, there was a place filled with murderous intent. He could vaguely see an ancient palace. Shrouded in endless darkness, the palace flickered. It was hidden between reality and illusion, as if it would disappear at any time. Ling Xiao suddenly had a feeling that something in the palace was calling out to him, giving him an extremely strong feeling. Ling Xiao made up his mind almost instantly. He leaped up and flew towards the palace. Shrouded in darkness, reality and illusion intertwined. There was even a trace of chaotic air in the air, making the palace look extremely mysterious. It was as if it was the residence of the gods and demons. Ling Xiao stood in front of the palace and stretched out a hand. The palace trembled slightly, as if it existed in another time and space. Ling Xiao's hand passed through without any hindrance. He did not touch anything. Chapter 21:16. Someone has set up a space-time enchantment around this palace? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed and he could tell that something was amiss. The palace that was shrouded in darkness looked extremely mysterious. It was very likely that the secret of the killing-breaking wolf pattern was hidden there. However, Ling Xiao was blocked outside and couldn't get close to the palace. He could sense that there was a layer of mysterious space-time energy around the palace. It was the energy of the fusion of time and space, forming a mysterious enchantment. It looked like it was right in front of him, but it was actually isolated from space-time, making it impossible for anyone to enter. Space-time enchantment. Could it be someone from the space-time heavenly gate? Ling Zhao's eyes flashed and he immediately thought of Shi Bufan, whom he had met before. Shi Bufan had a time compass and cultivated the time compass. His identity was extremely mysterious. In the God world, the space-time heavenly gate was naturally the most proficient in the space-time Tao. I really want to see what's hidden here. Ling Zhao sneered in his heart. Radiance shone from his palm and 3 time compasses floated out at the same time. Mysterious runes circled around them and the power of time flowed. Buzz. Ling Zhao used the time scripture to activate the time compass. Instantly, the time compass floated up and turned into 3 bright balls of light around him. They slowly floated forward. An extremely beautiful scene appeared in front of Ling Zhao. Mysterious radiance flowed and time flowed endlessly. It was as though the fog of time had been pushed aside and he could see the truth. The palace that was shrouded in darkness trembled slightly. Runes flowed in the mysterious space-time enchantment, but there was also the power of space that appeared. It was as though there were layers and layers of illusions in space. Break! Ling Zhao seemed to have expected this. When he saw this scene, he couldn't help but scold softly. Gotcha! 9 heavenly Tao primal chaos tablets rose into the sky and intertwined with each other to form a mysterious ring. They flew across the sky and imprinted on the layers of illusions in space. Suddenly, heaven and earth shook and darkness surged. It was as though a hurricane had been set off. Above the huge space-time enchantment, a door instantly appeared. A divine light flashed in Ling Zhao's eyes, and he instantly shot into the cave. What a powerful space-time enchantment! If it wasn't for the 3 time compasses, it would be difficult to enter. Ling Zhao heaved a sigh of relief and muttered to himself. The most powerful aspect of the space-time barrier was still the power of time. Time was known as a taboo. Ordinary people would not be able to come into contact with the power of time. On the contrary, the space law was more common. Ever since many experts came into contact with the true meaning of the Great Tao, the first thing they came into contact with was the power of the space law. The heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet was able to break through the void. Breaking through the spatial enchantment wasn't much of a problem. However, the power of time here was incomparably strong. If Ling Zhao hadn't used the power of the 3 time compasses, he probably wouldn't have been able to enter. After entering the palace, Ling Zhao began to observe the surroundings. This was an extremely ancient palace, and its entire body was built with black stones. It looked extremely simple and unadorned, emitting a savage aura. The mottled walls flowed with the aura of the passage of time. Ling Zhao saw 3 ancient stone mirrors in the palace. The stone mirror appeared to be extremely large, over 300 meters tall. Chaotic light flowed all over its surface, and strands of mysterious baleful aura emanated from it. When Ling Zhao saw what was reflected in the stone mirror, his body instantly shook. His eyes were filled with disbelief and shock. The first stone mirror reflected a huge saber that spanned across the heavens. It seemed to be the weapon of a chaotic divine demon. It was hundreds of millions of miles long, and it was like a vast galaxy floating in the chaos. The second stone mirror reflected an indestructible long spear. It was as black as ink, and it flowed with an eternal aura. It contained an endless battle intent, as though it could destroy the heavens and the earth with a single strike. The third stone mirror reflected a dazzling long sword. The sword aura swept across the heavens, and its sharpness was unparalleled. It seemed to be able to slice the heavens and the myriad of worlds into dust. It was extraordinarily sharp. Saber, spear, and sword, these 3 great weapons, strangely appeared in the stone mirror just like that. This is actually an extreme Tao Emperor weapon. Ling Zhao's voice was trembling, and his eyes were filled with shock. He could clearly feel that the 3 weapons were exuding an extreme Tao Emperor aura. It was eternal and indestructible, as though it could destroy everything. At a glance, he recognized that these were extreme Tao Emperor weapons. Only extreme Tao Emperor weapons could possess such terrifying aura. No, these are not real extreme Tao Emperor weapons. These are just the imprints of extreme Tao Emperor weapons. A sharp light flashed across Ling Zhao's eyes. If the three extreme Dao Emperor weapons were here, the entire Void Land would have been destroyed, not to mention the formation of Sha Lang and the three stars. The three fully awakened extreme Dao Emperor weapons were equivalent to three supreme emperors. Their peerless divine aura was enough to destroy the chaotic ancient land and pierce through the myriad of worlds. The saber, spear, and sword in the three stone mirrors were the imprints of extreme Dao Emperor weapons. No one knew who had used a supreme technique to set up such a place, forming the three imprints. Even the imprints of extreme Dao Emperor weapons were incomparably precious. If one could comprehend the Emperor intent within the imprints of extreme Dao Emperor weapons, not only would one's cultivation improve tremendously, one could also comprehend the supreme Emperor skills hidden within and possess unparalleled combat strength. The saber is the king of all weapons, the spear is the ancestor of all weapons, and the sword is the king of all weapons. Could these three extreme Dao Emperor weapons be related to the formation of Sha Lang and the three stars? Ling Zhao's heart skipped a beat. He suddenly remembered that he had sensed the mysterious power within the 7 killing stars, the army destroyer stars, and the greedy wolf stars. It was a kind of imprint of time, growing and multiplying endlessly. The three ancient mirrors in front of him seemed to be connected to the Sha Lang and the three stars. It absorbed the mysterious energy from them and gradually formed the imprints of the three extreme Dao Emperor weapons. If I can peel off the imprints of the three extreme Dao Emperor weapons, it should be enough for me to have 3 life-saving trump cards. With the imprints of the three extreme Dao Emperor weapons, it should be enough to kill a great sage. However, I have a better choice. I can use the heavenly battle skill to refine the imprints of the extreme Dao Emperor weapons. My heavenly battle skill will reach great success and I will be invincible. Ling Zhao's eyes flickered as he thought excitedly. It did not matter who had left such a method to set up the formation of the Sha Lang and the three stars to absorb the imprints of the three extreme Dao Emperor weapons. It was a great opportunity for Ling Zhao. I've just broken the space-time barrier. I'm afraid the owner of this place has been alerted. Without further ado, I shall refine the imprints of the three extreme Dao Emperor weapons. Ling Zhao's heart skipped a beat, and he immediately sat cross-legged before the 3 stone mirrors. Bang! Chapter 21:17. Boom! Divine light bloomed in the sky like a rain of light. It was dazzling and the 3 stone mirrors in front of Ling Zhao began to tremble slightly. The battle heavenly technique was the supreme secret technique of the War God Temple. It contained the secrets of battle and possessed unparalleled killing power. Among the 12 heavenly techniques, the battle heavenly technique was considered the number 1 killing secret technique. Its power was terrifying. After Ling Zhao had obtained the inheritance of the heavenly battle skill, he had only started to cultivate the heavenly battle skill. The Yen Emperor Cauldron formed by the heavenly battle skill was extremely powerful. However, if he wanted to cultivate the heavenly battle skill to the great completion realm, he had to continuously absorb the imprints of powerful divine weapons and make the heavenly battle skill a part of himself. The imperial weapon imprints in the 3 stone mirrors were the best nourishment for Ling Zhao to cultivate the heavenly battle skill. Ling Zhao had a premonition that if he absorbed the 3 imperial weapon imprints, he would be able to cultivate the heavenly battle skill to the great completion realm. Ling Zhao sat cross-legged in front of the stone mirror. Runes rose around his body, forming a mysterious world. It was as if there were numerous illusory images of divine weapons that could destroy the heavens and the earth. They were incomparably fierce. The imperial weapon imprints in the stone mirrors trembled slightly and released an extremely powerful emperor's aura. It was as if the 3 emperor's weapons had been completely awakened. Kacha! The void shook violently. The long saber in the first stone mirror flew out of the stone mirror and into the divine weapon world above Ling Zhao's head. In an instant, the wind and clouds shook and the void roared. Endless saber radiance was terrifying and seemed to be able to destroy everything. The divine weapon world was shaking. Buzz! Ling Zhao pushed his arms out. Blazing flames rose and formed the Yen Emperor Cauldron above his head. The Yen Emperor cauldron spewed out endless flames and the surrounding void seemed to be distorted. The long saber slashed at the Yen Emperor cauldron and released an unparalleled divine radiance. Every collision seemed to cause the heavens and earth to shatter. The power was extremely terrifying. However, as the long saber and the Yen Emperor cauldron collided, the two emperors' auras merged and became harmonious. In the end, they intertwined and Ling Zhao's aura became even more powerful. Boom! Boom! The second stone mirror and the third stone mirror also began to tremble. The battle spear soared into the sky, and the long sword pierced through the sky. The spear and the sword contained unparalleled sharpness, and with a loud bang, they collided with the world of the divine weapon above Ling Zhao's head. Incomparably terrifying divine light burst out like a huge wave rising from the sea. The aura was incomparably terrifying, as if it could completely annihilate everything. Ling Zhao's figure was engulfed by the blazing light. Just as Ling Zhao was refining the three sovereign weapon imprints, in the void millions of miles away, there was a palace floating in the primal chaos. It was ancient and mysterious. At this moment, a young man in the palace suddenly opened his eyes. It was as if there were blazing lightning piercing through the sky. His eyes were filled with rage and shock. "Who is it? How dare you touch my imperial armament imprint?" Rumble. Blazing flames spewed out in an instant. Endless fiery light gushed out from the young man's body. It was as dazzling as the sun, and it exuded an aura of extreme yang. He was wearing golden armor, and his figure was slender and handsome. His golden hair danced in the wind, and his face was incomparably handsome. However, his eyes were filled with killing intent, and his aura was incomparably sharp and terrifying. "No matter who you are, you must die for daring to touch my imperial armament imprint." The voice of the young man in golden armor was incomparably cold. He took a step forward and instantly, the void trembled. A spatial gate directly appeared. He entered the spatial gate and completely disappeared. Boom! In the palace, Ling Zhao had completely refined the three sovereign weapon imprints. Above his head, with the Yen Emperor cauldron as the center, there was a saber, a spear, and a sword. The four supreme emperor weapons intertwined with each other, exuding an extremely terrifying aura, causing Ling Zhao's aura to become even sharper. The heavenly battle skill has finally been completed. Ling Zhao's eyes were filled with shock, and there was a tinge of excitement in his eyes. With the four supreme emperor weapons as the foundation, Ling Zhao's heavenly battle skill had been completed. Next, as he gradually comprehended the heavenly battle skill and the fighting great way, his combat strength would become increasingly powerful, and he would be able to unleash a terrifying power. However, as the heavenly battle skill had refined the three sovereign weapon imprints, it had become more difficult for Ling Zhao to unleash the heavenly battle skill. If the four supreme emperor weapons were to appear at the same time, Ling Zhao would only be able to unleash a single blow. However, the power of that blow would definitely be extremely terrifying. Someone must have purposely collected the sovereign weapon imprints here. I'd better leave this place first. Otherwise, if the owner of this place comes, things will be bad. Ling Zhao thought to himself as he prepared to leave the palace. Pissed. Suddenly, Ling Zhao felt an extremely sharp killing intent coming from behind him, causing all the hair on his body to stand on end. Ling Zhao did not even hesitate. The flipping sky seal flashed and blocked his back. He then executed a teleportation secret skill and moved to the side. Gotcha! The flipping sky seal trembled slightly and a dazzling halberd shadow exploded. It was as though the heavens and earth had been split into two. Who is it? Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he looked at the void behind him. The void rumbled and a space door appeared out of nowhere. A young man in golden armor walked out with a halberd in his hand. The aura around him was violent and sharp. His eyes were filled with cold, killing intent, and he instantly locked onto Ling Zhao. "You're asking me who I am? You stole my sovereign weapon imprints. If you don't hand them over today, don't blame me for being rude." The young man in golden armor said coldly. When he saw that the three stone mirrors were empty and the imprints of the imperial weapons had completely disappeared, He knew that they had all fallen into Ling Zhao's hands. He was still too late. The anger in his heart burned even more fiercely. Your sovereign weapon imprints? Or you say that the sovereign weapon imprints are yours and they are yours? What a joke. Treasures belong to those who are fated. I am fated with them and the sovereign weapon imprints are naturally mine. Ling Zhao smiled faintly. However, there was a strange look in his eyes. He did not expect the owner of the sovereign weapon imprints to come after he had just refined the 3 sovereign weapon imprints. Most importantly, Ling Zhao realized that the young man in golden armor was a woman. This secret realm was left behind by the ancestors of my Golden Emperor tribe. The treasures in it are naturally mine. You thief, if you don't hand them over, don't blame me for being rude. The young man in golden armor said furiously. Golden Emperor tribe? Hearing these words, Ling Zhao's heart could not help but tremble. Chapter 21:18. Although the young man in the golden armor was dressed as a man, his face was extremely handsome. His skin was as clear as jade and his legs were extremely long. His eyes were as bright as the stars and his body exuded a feminine aura. Ling Zhao's senses were extremely sharp and he was almost instantly sure that the young man in the golden armor was a woman. The Golden Emperor clan that she had mentioned shocked Ling Zhao even more. The Golden Emperor clan was the bloodline descendant of the Golden Emperor. The Golden Emperor was one of the 9 emperors of the human clan. At the beginning of the era, he had once fought against the experts of all clans and the great emperors. In the end, he had died of exhaustion. The Golden Emperor might not have been the most powerful of the 9 emperors of the human clan, but he had died the most tragic and tragic death. His death for the human clan was worthy of praise and tears. Until now, anyone in the divine world who heard the name of the Golden Emperor would feel deep veneration. Although the Golden Emperor clan was the bloodline descendant of the Golden Emperor, they had always kept a low profile and lived in seclusion. Many people even thought that the Golden Emperor clan had disappeared from the divine world. Ling Zhao did not expect to see someone from the Golden Emperor clan here. Miss, I've already refined the Emperor weapon imprint. There's no way I can return it to you. Why don't I compensate you with some treasures? Ling Zhao said innocently. If it were someone else, Ling Zhao might have been thick-skinned enough to take the Emperor weapon imprint for himself. However, as the descendant of the Golden Emperor, Ling Zhao was too embarrassed to take away the Emperor weapon imprint so easily. Moreover, he believed that the Emperor weapon imprint should belong to the woman in front of him. Miss? How did you know? The Emperor weapon imprint is a priceless treasure. What are you going to use to pay me back? After hearing Ling Zhao's words, the woman in the golden armor revealed a look of disbelief. Her face turned red and she said with embarrassment and anger. She had disguised herself as a man using the art of disguise. Her art of disguise was so exquisite that even a sage would not be able to detect her true identity. She did not expect Ling Zhao to see through her disguise. I can see through the heavens and see through falsehoods. Naturally, I can see that you're a woman disguised as a man. May I know your name? Since I've taken your Emperor weapon imprint, I can compensate you with a heaven's secret skill, a supreme divine pill, and a powerful holy treasure. Ling Zhao said with a smile. My name is Yi Qingqing of the Golden Emperor clan. Cut the crap. You stole my monarch armament imprint. Let me beat you up first. The woman in the golden armor snorted coldly. Holding the halberd in her hand, she slashed towards Ling Zhao. Crack. The halberd in her hand was golden in color, as if it was cast from gold. When it slashed down from the sky, the void trembled. Then, an unstoppable golden dragon appeared. Miss Qingqing, it's not good to be so irritable. I've already promised to compensate you, so why do you have to do this? Ling Zhao laughed bitterly and punched out at the same time. Boom! Ling Zhao's fist suddenly collided with the halberd. Suddenly, a blazing divine light burst out like a volcanic eruption. The halberd emitted a burst of clear dragon cry, and was unexpectedly sent flying by Ling Zhao. Yi Qingqing only felt an unparalleled divine power attacking her, causing her arm to feel a little numb. Her eyes revealed a trace of surprise. Your body is actually so strong? Thief, let's fight first, then we'll talk about compensation. Yi Qingqing's eyes were bright, showing an eager look. Her whole body was filled with a strong fighting spirit. Once again, she swung the halberd and attacked Ling Xiao. The heavenly halberd seemed to have completely awakened. Dazzling golden clouds gushed out, and mysterious dragon scales appeared on its surface. Accompanied by the majestic roar of the dragon, the heavenly halberd actually transformed into a golden dragon and charged towards Ling Xiao. What a powerful weapon! Ling Xiao exclaimed in his heart. He could feel that the halberd was extremely terrifying. It was not weaker than the flipping sky seal at all. It was a supreme holy treasure. At this moment, the golden dragon attacked. Vast dragon power erupted, making Ling Xiao feel as if he was fighting with a real dragon. Boom, boom, boom. Ling Xiao was also stimulated by a strong fighting spirit. His fists were like dragons, and each strike contained a vast power of wind and thunder. The chaotic air rose, and the fist intent was incomparably powerful, as if it could break through 3,000 realms. It constantly collided with the halberd. Sparks flew in all directions, setting off a divine light storm. Your body can actually withstand my dragon blood halberd? Very well, I'd like to see how strong you are. Yi Qingqing's competitive spirit seemed to have been stimulated by Ling Xiao. Her eyes became brighter and brighter, and her golden hair danced in the wind, causing her entire aura to become incomparably violent. Rumble! The golden divine light around her was as vast as the sea, becoming violent and boiling. Powerful divine weapons condensed in it, containing an incomparably pure killing intent. In an instant, it shrouded the world. Golden heavenly skill, myriad divine weapons. With Yi Qingqing's roar, divine weapons instantly filled the sky and rushed toward Ling Xiao. Those divine weapons intertwined with each other, containing an endless true meaning, as if they could cut everything into pieces. Fight! Ling Xiao's eyes were also surging with fighting spirit. He directly leaped into the sky, and the golden blood qi around his body gushed out and suddenly burned. He was like a sun god, constantly punching out. Boom! In an instant, thousands of fist prints burst out, and Ling Xiao was enveloped in the sea of divine weapons. He tried his best to rush forward, constantly smashing the powerful divine weapons into pieces. However, those divine weapons seemed to have an endless life. After being smashed by Ling Xiao, they instantly reformed. Ling Xiao was like an indefatigable demonic god, bursting forth with supreme strength. Chaotic mist lingered around him, and his skin was as hard as iron. When those divine weapons slashed on his skin, there were actually sounds of metal clashing. It was incomparably crisp, and then they were directly bounced off. I don't believe that your body can withstand all power. Golden heavenly skill, myriad thunder destruction. Yi Qingqing's eyes were like lightning, and the golden divine light around her became more and more intense. Above her head, a celestial flower of the great path bloomed. In an instant, golden light gushed out all over the sky like streaks of lightning, crossing the void in all directions, raging between heaven and earth, and at the same time, falling toward Ling Xiao. The vast laws of the great path descended as if it was the wrath of the heavens, wanting to destroy the creatures that went against the heavens. Yi Qingqing had also reached the celestial ascension realm. At this moment, she erupted with the most powerful power, causing her aura to skyrocket. She was like a saint who controlled the punishment of the heavens, ready to destroy the world. Chapter 21:19. Rumble. It was as if everything had been annihilated and returned to nothingness. The golden lightning was like a thunder dragon, wreaking havoc between heaven and earth. It contained the purest great Tao law, and its power was incomparably terrifying. It enveloped Ling Xiao's entire body. Yi Qingqing's golden sky art contained the most original heavenly punishment power. Ling Xiao had used the divine firmament destructive lightning Tao and the lightning emperor art at the same time, but in front of such terrifying lightning, it had actually been broken apart instantly. Bolts of lightning pierced through the void, and the dazzling lightning directly shot into Ling Zhao's body, causing his entire body to shake violently. The mysterious power of Great Tao Law erupted, wanting to blow his entire body into smithereens. Devour! Ling Zhao shouted in his heart. Tiny vortexes appeared in his body, containing a powerful devouring power, constantly devouring the lightning into his body. Boom! Behind Ling Zhao, the devouring divine sea appeared. He used the devouring secret technique, wanting to devour all the lightning in his body. At the same time, the chaotic aura around him rose, and rays of light appeared on his skin, forming runes that made his body extremely sturdy, resisting the lightning that filled the sky. It had to be said that Yi Qingqing's golden sky art was incomparably terrifying. The myriad lightning strike was like the power of heavenly punishment, able to obliterate all life. Even a sage would find it difficult to resist this attack. Ling Zhao used the devouring secret technique, but the devouring speed was extremely slow, as if it had encountered a great resistance. The lightning was broken down by the devouring secret technique, and then slowly integrated into Ling Zhao's body. It was as if heaven and earth were being split apart in Ling Zhao's body. Lightning rose, and chaos surged, turning into the purest power, causing Ling Zhao's body to gradually strengthen. At the same time, the wordless heavenly book trembled slightly, as if it had sensed some kind of fluctuation that made it excited. Circles of ripples spread out, shattering the lightning and devouring it like a whale swallowing the sea. There's the aura of a secret technique in this golden sky art. Ling Zhao's body shook, and his eyes revealed a trace of incomparable surprise. There was only one reason for the wordless heavenly book to have such a reaction, and that was the 108 secret techniques of the myriad worlds. Ling Zhao vaguely felt that the myriad lightning strike of the golden sky art contained an extremely mysterious secret technique fluctuation. The lightning in the sky was swallowed up by Ling Zhao. Ling Zhao soared into the sky and threw a punch at Yi Qingqing like a bolt of lightning. His speed was extremely fast. What? Yi Qingqing's expression changed. She never thought that the power of the myriad lightning eradication would disappear so strangely. It was as if it did not cause any harm to Ling Zhao. The Fangtian halberd in Yi Qingqing's hand spun and cleaved towards Ling Zhao. Bang! But with a flash of light, Ling Zhao's palm was surrounded by the qi of primordial chaos. Golden light blazed as his blood qi surged. He actually managed to grab hold of the ancient halberd. Yi Qingqing's eyes lit up. At the same time, he slapped Ling Zhao without thinking. Boom! However, Ling Zhao easily blocked her attack and grabbed Yi Qingqing's hand. Yi Qingqing's fingers were extremely slender and as white as jade. Moreover, they were soft and boneless. After Ling Zhao grabbed them, he couldn't help but touch them a few more times, causing Yi Qingqing's face to immediately turn red. Bastard, have you touched enough? Yi Qingqing gritted her teeth and said. When Ling Zhao grabbed hold of the ancient halberd and her hand, Yi Qingqing felt as if all the strength in her body had been sucked out. She actually did not have the strength to resist at all. This made her shocked and angry. Hee, Miss Qingqing, can we have a good talk now? Ling Zhao said with a smile. He was getting more and more interested in Yi Qingqing. Not only was Yi Qingqing's cultivation extraordinary, but her combat strength was also unparalleled. She even caused a lot of trouble for Ling Zhao. Moreover, she seemed to have a powerful secret skill on her. This was exactly what Ling Zhao needed. Ling Zhao was just thinking about how he could obtain that powerful secret skill from Yi Qingqing. Let go of me first. Yi Qingqing wanted to pounce on Ling Zhao and bite him. No problem. But if I let go of you, you can't attack me anymore. As a member of the Golden Emperor clan, you have no sense of propriety. Ling Zhao smiled slightly and let go of Yi Qingqing. Although Yi Qingqing's face was filled with hostility and she wanted to poke a few holes in Ling Zhao's body with the dragon blood halberd, she finally restrained herself after thinking about it. Although she didn't want to admit it, she had to admit that she was no match for Ling Zhao in the end. Yi Qingqing couldn't imagine how a guy who was only a 9th Revolution half-saint could have such powerful combat strength. Miss Qingqing, although I've obtained your imperial weapon imprint, I didn't know that the 3 Imperial weapon imprints here belonged to you. Now that I've completely refined the Imperial weapon imprints, there's no way I can return them to you. How about I give you a complete secret skill in exchange? Ling Xiao said with a smile. A complete secret skill? There are 108 secret skills in the universe. Only the 12 sky skills can catch my eye. But you definitely don't have the 12 sky skills. As for the other secret skills, if you can take out the heaven shrouding secret skill, I'll let you go. How about that? Yi Qingqing said with a cold smile. Her face was filled with disbelief. She was just casually saying it. She didn't believe that Ling Xiao could take out the complete heaven shrouding secret skill. In fact, to Yi Qingqing, the heaven shrouding secret skill was no less useful than a complete heaven skill. You want the heaven shrouding secret skill? I really do have the heaven shrouding secret skill here. Ling Xiao said with a strange look in his eyes. What? Yi Qingqing's body shook. Suddenly, her eyes were filled with surprise and joy. Do you really have the heaven shrouding secret skill? Give it to me and I won't pursue the matter of you stealing my Imperial weapon imprints. How about that? Yi Qingqing said impatiently. No problem. This is the imparting crystal of the heaven shrouding secret skill. We're even. Ling Xiao said with a smile. He took out the imparting crystal of the heaven shrouding secret skill without hesitation. He didn't expect Yi Qingqing to be so interested in the heaven shrouding secret skill instead of the 12 sky skills. This is really the heaven shrouding secret skill? Yi Qingqing placed the imparting crystal between her eyebrows and began to accept the profound meaning of the heaven shrouding secret skill. After a long time, when she opened her eyes, they were filled with surprise and joy. She had already verified that the heaven shrouding secret skill was recorded in the imparting crystal. Of course, I, Ling Xiao, am a man of my word. But why do you value the heaven shrouding secret skill so much? Could it be that it has some effect on you? Ling Xiao asked curiously. Chapter 2120. The Secret of the Void Land? What is it? Ling Xiao looked at Yi Qingqing in surprise. At the same time, he came to a realization. The reason why Yi Qingqing did not take away the 3 Emperor weapon imprints was because there was a secret in the empty land. Yi Qingqing looked at Ling Xiao and pondered for a moment before saying, the heaven shrouding secret skill is extremely beneficial to my cultivation of the golden sky skill. Most importantly, the heaven shrouding secret skill is related to whether we can obtain the sky punishment secret skill in the void land. Sky punishment secret skill? That's the secret skill of the 9 Imperial gates. You're saying that the void land has the sky punishment secret skill? Ling Xiao was also a little excited. The sky punishment secret skill was known as the number 1 lightning doctrine. It was the secret skill of the 9 Imperial gates and it contained the mystery of the sky punishment. It could punish on behalf of the heavens and wield the power of the heavens. Its power was extremely terrifying. If he could obtain the sky punishment secret skill, Ling Zhao's path of collecting the 12 sky skills would be a step further. That's right. In the middle of the void land, there is a thunder calamity sea. It is shrouded by endless lightning all year round and it contains the sky punishment secret skill. However, the lightning there has a strong spirituality and it has formed a powerful thunder spirit. Only the heaven shrouding secret skill can conceal its aura and allow us to enter the thunder calamity sea. Yi Qingqing said slowly. Thunder calamity sea? Thunder spirit? Ling Zhao's eyes revealed a strange look. He suddenly thought of the Thunder Spirit King. He wondered what kind of fortune the Thunder Spirit King would encounter in the Thunder Calamity Sea. Master, you must go to the Thunder Calamity Sea. If I can devour the endless Thunder Spirit in the Thunder Calamity Sea and obtain the Sky Punishment secret skill, my strength will definitely improve. The Thunder Spirit King's excited voice was transmitted into Yi Qingqing's mind. After hearing Yi Qingqing's words, the Thunder Spirit King couldn't stay calm anymore. The Thunder Spirit in the Thunder Calamity Sea had an irresistible attraction to it. Lady Qingqing, can you bring me to the Thunder Calamity Sea? I'm also interested in the Sky Punishment secret skill. Ling Xiao smiled and did not hide his thoughts. Since Ling Xiao could find the Heaven's Punishment secret skill in this void, he naturally did not want to miss it. He wanted to obtain the complete Heaven's Punishment secret skill here. According to what Ling Xiao knew, the Divine Firmament Destructive Lightning Dao and Lightning the Arch Art were most likely inextricably linked to Heaven's Punishment. Heaven's Punishment secret technique, I wonder if I'll meet the Son of Heaven. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he thought to himself. Right now, the Emperor was the leader of the younger generation in the 9 Imperial Gates. The Emperor was also the strongest cultivator Ling Xiao had seen in his generation. If there was a heavenly punishment secret technique in this void, perhaps the Emperor wouldn't have missed it. Sure. But once we arrive at the Lightning Tribulation Ocean, you must listen to my commands. Otherwise, we might be doomed eternally. Yi Qingqing said seriously. No problem. Lady Qingqing, can you let me see your true appearance? Ling Xiao said with a smile. Although Yi Qingqing looked extraordinarily handsome at the moment, Ling Xiao knew that he was a woman and felt that it was very strange. No! Yi Qingqing glared at Ling Xiao in annoyance, then turned around and prepared to leave. Ling Xiao smiled in a carefree manner. He felt that Yi Qingqing had a unique personality. She was a woman, yet she chose to dress up as a man. This made Ling Xiao curious about Yi Qingqing. Suddenly, Ling Xiao's eyes flashed sharply as if he had sensed something. He said slowly, Lady Qingqing, I'm afraid you'll have to wait for me for a while. Let me kill 2 people first before we head to the Lightning Tribulation Ocean. How about that? Feng Qingyang's voice sounded in Ling Xiao's consciousness. The dragon and tiger sages who were chasing after him had arrived. Kill 2 people? Do you need my help? Yi Qingqing's eyes flashed with a strange look. Thank you, but there's no need. With 3 the archweapon imprints, it's enough for me to control the wolf and kill formations. It's a good surprise for them. Ling Xiao smiled faintly, but his smile was very cold and filled with killing intent. After refining the 3 the archweapon imprints, Ling Xiao was able to control the formations of the wolf and kill formations. The boundless murderous aura and murderous intent had formed a powerful territory, which happened to be the place where the dragon and tiger sages were buried. Yi Qingqing's lips twitched when she heard the words the arch-weapon imprints. She felt a great pain in her heart. They were left behind by the ancestors of the Golden Emperor tribe, and now they had all fallen into Ling Xiao's hands. Initially, she was incomparably furious and wanted to kill the thief. However, for some reason after meeting Ling Xiao and fighting with him, the killing intent in her heart had dissipated. Even Yi Qingqing felt that it was unbelievable. Ling Xiao and Yi Qingqing leaped out of the palace together. Using the sky-shrouding secret technique, they silently snuck out. The void land was filled with illusory and mysterious scenes. 2 dazzling lights shot from afar at extreme speed and soon arrived in front of the wolf and kill formations. They were 2 young men in black robes. Their auras were extremely powerful and shrouded in a vast divine aura, causing the surrounding void to tremble slightly. They were the dragon and tiger sages who were chasing after Ling Xiao and Feng Qingyang. How strange! My tracking compass shows that Ling Xiao should be nearby, but his aura has completely disappeared. A light flashed in Long Sheng's palm and a bronze compass appeared. It looked very simple and unadorned, with mysterious chaotic aura flowing on it. Could it be that they have hidden themselves? The void land is full of dangers, but it's also full of opportunities. Perhaps they found some secret realm or cave dwelling. Tiger Sage's eyes moved as he looked around and said, It's possible. If they really found some opportunities, it's a good thing. I'm afraid they found out about our whereabouts and deliberately hid themselves. Long Sheng's expression was somewhat uncertain as he snorted coldly. They found out about our whereabouts? That shouldn't be possible, right? Tiger Sage said uncertainly. Nothing is impossible. Ling Xiao was able to kill Tong Tian Demon Saint and Saint Muyuan. His strength is not to be underestimated. However, the more secrets he has, the more interested I am in him. Long Sheng sneered coldly. The dragon and tiger sages had already arrived in front of the wolf and kill formations as they talked. Although Ling Xiao had used some means to conceal the aura of the three formations, Long Sheng could still see that something was wrong. These three formations are a little strange, Long Sheng said in a somewhat bewildered manner as he halted his footsteps. At that moment, a faint voice sounded in the void. Are the two of you looking for me? Chapter 21-21. Rumble. In the dark void, a dazzling divine light exploded like a volcano. Ling Xiao was bathed in the golden glow as he strolled over. His robe was whiter than snow, and his black hair fluttered in the wind. There was a faint smile on his face, and his eyes were sharp. Yi Qingqing was wearing golden armor and holding a heavenly halberd. He stood beside Ling Xiao like a peerless god of war, exuding an extremely powerful aura. You're Ling Xiao? Long Sheng was shocked, and his expression instantly turned cold. Hee, big brother, we have searched high and low for him, only to find him by chance. This brat has delivered himself to us. Let's capture him. The Tiger Saint sneered. If I'm not wrong, the two of you must have been hired by the Heavenly Curse sect to kill me. How should I address the two of you? When the two of you are dead, I will erect an inscription for the two of you. Ling Xiao said flatly, and his expression was extremely calm. You have a sharp tongue. Ling Xiao, how dare you be so arrogant when you are about to die? Where is Feng Qingyang? Do you think that you and Feng Qingyang can deal with the two of us? Tiger Saint said coldly as he cautiously scanned the dark void around him. Although he did not know who the golden armored man standing beside Ling Xiao was, he was certain that it was not Feng Qingyang. Don't worry. There is no need for Feng Qingyang to do anything. The two of you will definitely die. This is a void, and it is not a disgrace to your status to bury two sages. Ling Xiao said flatly. Feng Qingyang was hiding in the dark void. Although Ling Xiao did not ask him to do anything, he was ready to kill the dragon and tiger sages at any time. You are courting death. Killing intent flashed across Tiger Sage's eyes. He roared and took the lead to pounce on Ling Xiao. He let out a tiger's roar, and the terrifying sound waves caused the surrounding void to tremble violently. A huge white tiger appeared above his head, and his entire body exuded an extremely ferocious aura as he charged towards Ling Xiao. A glint flashed in Dragon Saint's eyes, but he did not make a move. He wanted to see how Tiger Saint would do. Tiger Saint was, after all, a true saint. When he struck, it contained vast divine might. His huge tiger claws were incomparably sharp, as if they were made of metal, flashing with cold light. Rumble! A sharp glint flashed in Ling Xiao's eyes, and the blood and qi in his body surged as he threw a punch at Tiger Saint. He could sense the bloody aura of the dragon and tiger saints before him. Although they looked like humans, they had the blood of the beast tribe flowing in their bodies. They were half human and half beast, which was very strange. However, the tiger sage was extremely strong. Judging from his aura, he was even stronger than the heavenly demon saint. The golden fist came through the air in a mighty manner. It was as if an ancient emperor was about to destroy the heavens. It clashed with Tiger Saint's huge tiger claws, and the sound of metal clashing was immediately heard. Sparks flew in all directions. The void in all directions trembled slightly. Tiger Saint's expression changed as he sensed a divine power that he could not resist exploding. His entire body trembled and he was sent flying. So what if you're a saint? How dare you try to kill me with that little bit of cultivation of yours? A dark light flashed in Ling Xiao's eyes. They were filled with murderous intent. After he sent Tiger Saint flying with a punch, he kicked out in the air. A blazing and vast light exploded as he aimed a kick at Tiger Saint's chest. Tiger Saint's expression was extremely ugly. He roared angrily and tried to block with his arms. However, an incomparably crisp sound rang out. His arms were broken by Ling Xiao's kick, and the air was filled with the thick stench of blood. Ling Xiao's physical body is indeed terrifying. Dragon Saint, who was watching the battle from afar, could not help but narrow his eyes. He was extremely shocked. Tiger Saint had obtained the blood essence of the primordial white tiger and cultivated the white tiger celestial technique at the same time. His physical body was incomparably strong, but now he was no match for Ling Xiao. Kill! Murderous intent flashed in Dragon Saint's eyes. He could no longer hold back and attacked Ling Xiao at the same time. The dragon's roar in the void was majestic and mysterious. Black demonic light gushed out from Dragon Saint's body. A vast saint's aura rose, and black dragon scales suddenly shot towards Ling Xiao like giant blades. The moment Dragon Saint attacked, Tiger Saint also roared. The dragon's roar and the tiger's roar intertwined. The power of the two seemed to converge, causing Tiger Saint's aura to skyrocket. Streaks of black claws fell towards Ling Xiao like steel needles. This is the power of the fusion of secret techniques? Ling Xiao's body trembled, and a trace of disbelief appeared in his eyes. He never thought that he would see the power of the fusion of secret techniques in Dragon Saint and Tiger Saint. Ling Xiao cultivated the supreme secret techniques of the ancestral dragon, true phoenix, white tiger, black tortoise, and qilin. In the lower realm, he had once displayed the power of the fusion of dragon and phoenix. Now, he saw the power of the fusion of the ancestral dragon and white tiger secret techniques in Dragon Saint and Tiger Saint. Although it didn't seem complete, and even a little incomplete, it was enough to increase the combat power of Dragon Saint and Tiger Saint greatly. It put a certain amount of pressure on Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao didn't attack. Instead, a stream of light flashed under his feet as he used a teleportation secret technique. He wanted to avoid Dragon Saint and Tiger Saint's joint attack, and at the same time, carefully observe the power of the fusion of secret techniques in their bodies. This kind of fusion involved the laws of the Great Path and the Heavenly Way. It could borrow the power of heaven and earth to explode with even more terrifying combat power. Ling Xiao die. Dragon Saint and Tiger Saint's eyes were filled with murderous intent. Divine light rose around them, and demonic light filled the air. The dragon's roar and tiger's roar turned into a powerful sound wave that directly attacked the primordial spirit. It was as if it could completely destroy everything. Ling Xiao used a teleportation secret technique, traversing 1,000 kilometers in the blink of an eye. His entire body seemed to have turned into a blur as he shuttled between Dragon Saint and Tiger Saint's attacks. Divine light erupted in the sky, and a black divine dragon and a white tiger seemed to appear in the sky. They were both tens of thousands of meters tall, and their auras were monstrous. They were insufferably arrogant. At the same time, Ling Xiao retreated into the three-star formation without leaving a trace. Ling Xiao, where do you think you're going? Tiger Saint bellowed. The figures in the sky were all destroyed by him and Dragon Saint. Afterwards, he grabbed at the air, wanting to dig out Ling Xiao's heart. His eyes were filled with extreme cruelty. Chapter 21-22. A ray of blood-red light flashed through the void and Ling Xiao's chest was instantly pierced through by Tiger Saint. However, Dragon Saint's heart could not help but skip a beat, especially when he saw Ling Xiao's calm expression. He could not help but feel an extremely strong sense of danger and immediately shouted, "Not good! Retreat! Gotcha!" His entire body was like a bolt of black lightning as he instantly tried to escape. "Don't you think it's too late to leave now?" Ling Xiao's indifferent voice rang out in the void. The figure whose chest had been pierced by Tiger Saint instantly turned into nothingness. It turned out that this was only an afterimage formed by Ling Xiao's heaven-shrouding secret technique. Ling Xiao's figure appeared above the dragon and Tiger Saints. His robes were whiter than snow and his sleeves fluttered in the wind. There was a hint of mockery in his eyes. Rumble! The void in all directions seemed to have exploded. Endless black murderous aura gushed out like thick ink and formed an incomparably terrifying domain that immediately enveloped the dragon and Tiger Saints. The terrifying murderous aura seemed to be able to devour all life. When it got close to the dragon and Tiger Saints, it began to go berserk. It was like a devouring vortex that wanted to devour their bones and dregs. The kill break, and wolf 3 stars formation was incomparably terrifying. The murderous aura barrier made Ling Xiao and Feng Qingyang feel as if they were facing a great enemy. Even a saint would be severely injured if they were to barge in recklessly and would find it difficult to escape. After Ling Xiao had refined the 3 Emperor weapon brands, he had temporarily gained the ability to control the kill, break, and wolf 3 stars formation. In other words, this was an innate great formation. With murderous aura as the foundation, murderous aura as the source, and battle intent as the body, it could destroy everything. This is a supreme holy formation. Ling Xiao, you despicable and shameless person. How dare you trick me? Tiger Saint's expression changed greatly. His eyes were filled with rage as he roared angrily. Let's charge out. A cold light flickered in Dragon Saint's eyes as well. However, he was able to discern the severity of the situation. He knew that the most important thing right now was to charge out. Otherwise, if they were trapped by the murderous aura barrier, they would die sooner or later. Gotcha! Dragon Saint and Tiger Saint's Saint Chi intertwined and their powers seemed to fuse together. In an instant, they charged out of the boundless murderous aura and attempted to escape. Trying to escape? It's not that easy. Ling Xiao smiled faintly as runes rose from his palm. Rays of dazzling light formed the Yen Emperor's cauldron in the air. It soared into the sky in an instant and came crashing down on the Dragon and Tiger Saints. It wasn't easy to lure the Dragon and Tiger Sages here. Naturally, Ling Xiao wouldn't let them leave so easily. Rumble! The Flame Emperor Cauldron contained supreme divine power, and it expanded to 10,000 feet in size. Its scorching flames could burn the void, and it contained an unparalleled suppressive force. At the same time, the Dragon and Tiger Sages' expressions changed drastically when they sensed the extreme Emperor's might. The Dragon and Tiger Sages were unable to dodge the attack. They could only take it head-on. They clenched their teeth and unleashed their strongest attacks at the Flame Emperor Cauldron. The Yen Emperor Cauldron shuddered slightly as a strange sound wave rippled out from it. A vast and mighty monarch aura burst forth, shattering the attacks of the Dragon and Tiger Sages and sending them flying. The ominous aura that filled the sky attacked them once again. It rose into the sky like divine chains, and the black ominous aura seemed to want to completely bind the Dragon and Tiger Sages. The Dragon and Tiger Sages were scared out of their wits when they felt the life force in their bodies slipping away rapidly. Even the saint energy around them was weakening. The ominous aura boundary was like a bottomless pit that was crazily devouring the energy in their bodies. Ling Xiao, you forced us to do this. Even if we die, you'll die before us. Long Sheng's eyes were filled with a frenzied killing intent as he suddenly roared. Crack! A black bolt of lightning suddenly exploded in the void. The murderous aura around Long Sheng trembled violently as if it had met its natural enemy. It began to retreat rapidly. A black scroll flew out from Long Sheng's hand and shot towards Ling Xiao. The void trembled as the black scroll slowly unfurled. It was as if a vast world had appeared between heaven and earth, and an extremely terrifying monarch aura gushed out from it. Destroy! An ancient divine rune appeared on the scroll. In an instant, it rushed out from the scroll as if it could fill the entire world. It then suddenly pressed down on Ling Xiao. This is the Great Emperor's decree? It seems like the heavenly cursed sect really hates me to the core. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he sneered. He could feel that the Great Emperor's decree contained an extremely strange curse power. The destruction rune wanted to destroy his physical body, primordial spirit, and the Great Tao Order. However, Ling Xiao's expression was extremely calm as if he was not afraid at all. Rumble! His eyes were extremely bright as runes surrounded his body. The Great Tao true meaning radiated from him, making him look like the embodiment of the Great Tao. His aura was extremely vast. 4 dazzling divine lights shot out from his body and turned into a cauldron, a saber, a spear, and a sword in the sky. The blazing light distorted as chaotic aura filled the air. It was as if the heavens and earth were being split apart. Those were the imprints of the 4 extreme Tao Emperor weapons. They were formed by Ling Xiao using the supreme battle heavenly skill as they flew towards the great emperor's decree. Bastard, those are my emperor weapon imprints. Yi Qingqing, who was watching the battle from the side, gritted his teeth and said gloomily when he saw the emperor weapon imprints above Ling Xiao's head. Although Ling Xiao had given him the heaven-shrouding secret skill as compensation, Yi Qingqing was so depressed that he wanted to vomit blood when he thought about how the 3 emperor weapon imprints had fallen into Ling Xiao's hands. She could feel that Ling Xiao was using the battle formation heavenly skill to control the 4 emperor weapon imprints. The power that erupted was enough to destroy the heavens and earth. The dragon and tiger sages' faces changed drastically as a trace of fear appeared in their eyes. Dazzling lights collided in the sky as the imprints of the 4 extreme Dao Emperor weapons intertwined with each other. They contained a power that could destroy the heavens and earth. Even the great emperor's decree could not withstand this attack and exploded into pieces. The curse power was formless and formless. Although most of it was destroyed by Ling Xiao's battle heavenly skill, there was still a portion that wanted to enter Ling Xiao's body. However, it was directly devoured by the wordless heavenly book. The divine light was like an ocean as the 4 emperor weapon imprints suppressed the earth, water, wind, and fire heavenly pillars. After destroying the great emperor's decree, they did not lose their momentum as they continued to suppress the dragon and tiger sages. The dragon and tiger sages' faces were filled with despair. No! The dragon and tiger saints roared furiously at the same time. Their eyes were filled with despair and fear. They could clearly feel the threat of death looming over them. Chapter 21-23. Rumble. The bodies of the dragon and tiger sages exploded in the air. The boundless life essence within their flesh and blood dissipated. The fiendish qi boundary swept over like a cat that had seen a fish. Ling Xiao was quick to react. He instantly leaped over and unleashed the sky-devouring secret technique. Blazing golden light rose around him and turned into a vast devouring vortex. He began to devour the boundless life essence in the air. The dragon and tiger sages were both saints. Not only were they extremely powerful, but their life essence had also evolved after experiencing the refinement of the saint tribulation. Their bodies were practically formed from the laws of the world and contained boundless life essence. The flesh and blood of a saint was no weaker than an ordinary divine pill. It was a supreme treasure to experts below the saint realm. Ling Xiao had used the battle the heavens method to complete mastery. He had consumed more than half of the energy in his body. He felt rather weak at the moment. After devouring the flesh and blood essence in the air, the weakness in his body rapidly disappeared. His aura also began to grow stronger. He had devoured the flesh and life essence of the 2 saints. Not only had his body become stronger, but his accumulation had also increased. The dragon and tiger sages had died in Ling Xiao's hands just like that. The 2 of them were very powerful. However, I never thought that your battle prowess would be so terrifying. You still held back when we fought before. Yi Qingqing walked over to Ling Xiao and said with a complicated expression, "Speaking of which, I still have to thank you. The 2 of them were saints. They were extremely powerful. If it weren't for the fiendish qi boundary, even if I could defeat them, it would be very difficult for me to kill them so easily." Ling Xiao smiled faintly. "There's no need to be humble. The fiendish qi boundary may have restrained them, but they couldn't resist your final attack at all. I never thought that you would have cultivated the battle the heavens method to such a level. Should I call you Ling Xiao or Long Outyin?" Yi Qingqing's eyes burned brightly as he stared at Ling Xiao. "So you've seen through it. Just call me Ling Xiao. Speaking of which, I still have to thank you for the 3 emperor weapon brands. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to withstand the emperor's decree." Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he smiled faintly. The fame of the battle heavenly merit was too great. Sure enough, the moment the battle heavenly merit appeared, Yi Qingqing immediately recognized his identity. Everyone thought you were killed by the sages of the Hua tribe and the heavenly curse sect. They didn't expect you to enter the chaotic ancient land and escape from 2 great sages. I'm sure you'll shine in the chaotic ancient land. Yi Qingqing said with some emotion. One. At this moment, a light flashed in the void and Feng Qingyang appeared in front of Ling Xiao. However, at this moment, Feng Qingyang's face was filled with shock. They have gotten stronger again. Feng Qingyang smiled bitterly, seemingly a little depressed. Previously, he had hidden the secret treasure in the dark void. Originally, he wanted to launch a pincer attack on the dragon and tiger sages with Ling Xiao. However, he did not expect Ling Xiao to kill the dragon and tiger sages on his own and complete the magnificent feat of slaying a saint. He was the one who knew how terrifying Ling Xiao's combat strength had become. At the beginning, he still needed some time to fight with Ling Xiao. Now, he could only look up to Ling Xiao. Even Feng Qingyang, who prided himself as a supreme talent, felt frustrated by Ling Xiao's terrifying speed of improvement. It's not that I've gotten stronger, but those two are too stupid. Let me introduce you. This is Yi Qingqing, the descendant of the Golden Emperor tribe. Ling Xiao smiled faintly and introduced Yi Qingqing to Feng Qingyang. The descendant of the Golden Emperor tribe? Greetings, Brother Yi. Feng Qingyang's expression changed when he heard that Yi Qingqing was the descendant of the Golden Emperor tribe. Feng Qingyang, one of the twin stars of the current generation of the Taishang Dao Palace. Unparalleled talent and extraordinary strength. I know you. Yi Qingqing glanced at Feng Qingyang and said flatly. She knew that the War God Hall and the Taishang Dao Palace were allies, so she was not surprised to see Ling Xiao and Feng Qingyang together. Brother Yi, you flatter me. Feng Qingyang said modestly. He was puzzled as to why a man would have such a feminine name like Yi Qingqing. However, he did not ask too much. The dragon and tiger sages are really lucky. The divine dragon's celestial skill and the white tiger's celestial skill? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. The dragon and tiger saints had been killed. He had devoured their flesh, blood, and essence, as well as their soul fragments. He had also stripped away part of their memories. It turned out that the dragon and tiger sages had obtained the divine dragon celestial skill and the white tiger celestial skill from an ancient sage king's cave. After they had successfully cultivated it, they ran amok in the chaotic ancient land and made a name for themselves. Otherwise, the heavenly cursed sect would not have sent them to kill Ling Xiao and Feng Qingyang. It was a pity that Ling Xiao had only obtained the incomplete divine dragon celestial skill and the white tiger celestial skill. He did not obtain the complete cultivation method. However, Ling Xiao could tell from the incomplete version that the two celestial skills were created based on the ancestral dragon secret skill and the white tiger secret skill. That was why the dragon and tiger sages were able to perform the fusion of the secret skills. Ling Xiao, Yi Qingqing, and Feng Qingyang chatted for a while before they prepared to leave for the Thunder Calamity Sea in the depths of the Voidland. When Feng Qingyang found out that the Thunder Calamity Sea contained the Heaven's Punishment secret skill, he was extremely excited. If he could obtain the Heaven's Punishment secret skill, his strength would definitely increase by a large margin. The Thunder Calamity Sea is filled with dangers. It contains the power of Heaven's punishment and the Thunder Spirit is extremely powerful. When you reach the Thunder Calamity Sea, you must listen to my commands. Otherwise, don't blame me if you die in the Thunder Calamity Sea. Yi Qingqing warned Ling Xiao and Feng Qingyang again and told them what to pay attention to in the Thunder Calamity Sea. Ling Xiao and Feng Qingyang naturally agreed. The three of them were extremely fast. Under Yi Qingqing's lead, they avoided the dangers of the Voidland and finally arrived at an extremely mysterious place. Rumble. The darkness in front of them seemed to have reached its end. Blazing lightning rose, causing the void to vibrate violently. Endless lightning formed a vast sea, erupting with the sound of a tsunami. Those lightning bolts were extremely dense. They were like divine chains of order, pouring down like a waterfall, emitting an incomparably blazing fluctuation. The vast Great Tao Law descended, emitting a terrifying pressure. It was like a brilliant heaven's might, as if it could turn everything into dust. Yi Qingqing took a deep breath, revealing a trace of excitement in his eyes. They had arrived at the Thunder Calamity Sea. Chapter 21-24. This is the core of the Void Land, the Thunder Calamity Sea. The Thunder Calamity Sea is formed by the thunder calamity of heaven and contains the power to destroy everything. Even a sage will die if he enters it. Only the heaven-shrouding secret skill can hide us from the Thunder Calamity Sea and even allow us to travel freely in the Thunder Calamity Sea. Yi Qingqing said slowly to Ling Xiao. It turned out that the Thunder Calamity Sea was a pure thunder calamity of the heavenly Tao. If a living creature entered it, it would instantly be assimilated by the thunder calamity of the heavenly Tao and become a part of the Thunder Calamity Sea. The powerful thunder spirits in the Thunder Calamity Sea were not only born from the Thunder Calamity Sea, but also from experts who were assimilated by the Thunder Calamity Sea. Their primordial spirit fused with the lightning and became a thunder spirit. The heaven-shrouding secret skill could not only conceal the living creature's aura, but also allow the living creature to have the same aura as the Thunder Calamity, allowing them to travel freely in the Thunder Calamity Sea. Ling Xiao was naturally clear about this. Will we be absolutely safe with the heaven-shrouding secret technique? Feng Qingyang said eagerly. His eyes were filled with anticipation. Ling Xiao had passed the heaven-shrouding secret skill to him. Feng Qingyang was excited when he thought of the legendary Heaven's Punishment secret skill hidden in the Thunder Calamity Sea. Not necessarily. Although the heaven-shrouding secret skill can allow us to travel safely in the Thunder Calamity Sea, there are many dangers in the Thunder Calamity Sea. No one knows what dangers there are. Moreover, there might be a powerful thunder spirit of the Saint Realm. We can't fight against it in the Thunder Calamity Sea. Yi Qingqing shook her head and said, "A powerful thunder spirit of the Saint Realm? If we can refine some thunder spirits, it might be beneficial for us to collect the Heaven's Punishment secret skill." Ling Zhao's eyes flashed with a bright light. This was what the Thunder Spirit King told him. After the Thunder Spirit King became a sage, he seemed to have gained a lot of memories. He seemed to have gained a lot of information about the Thunder Calamity Sea in the Void Land. The Heaven's Punishment secret skill was the power of the Thunder Calamity of Heaven. If they could refine a powerful thunder spirit, it would be beneficial for them to collect the Heaven's Punishment secret skill. We can give it a try. Let's go. Yi Qingqing nodded. She instantly performed the sky-shrouding secret technique. Her aura became extremely ethereal. At the same time, mysterious thunderbolts spread out. Her aura seemed to have merged with the Thunder Calamity Sea in front of her. Yi Qingqing transformed into a streak of golden lightning, taking the lead to shoot into the Thunder Tribulation Sea. Ling Xiao and Feng Qingyang glanced at each other, and both of them used the heaven-shrouding secret technique to follow Yi Qingqing. Rumble! It was as if they had entered a roaring sea. Blazing lightning surged into the sky like huge waves, connecting the heavens and the earth, containing an extreme destructive power. Above the void, chaos churned and laws intertwined. Divine chains of order traversed the sky. It was as if everything here had become the most basic state of laws. That kind of destructive power made Ling Xiao and the other two feel their scalps go numb. If it wasn't for the heaven-shrouding secret technique, they probably wouldn't have been able to withstand such terrifying lightning. A bolt of lightning exploded in front of Ling Xiao and the other two. A mysterious light shone brightly. It was as if the heavens and earth were being split apart, and an incomparably mysterious illusory image of a world appeared. In the Thunder Tribulation Sea, reality and illusion merged together, making it impossible for people to distinguish between them. "That's a thunder spirit?" Feng Qingyang suddenly exclaimed. In the distant Thunder Tribulation Sea, a white rabbit appeared. It looked very agile, but its body was intertwined with blazing white lightning, exuding the aura of the Thunder Tao origin. It was a thunder spirit. The rabbit thunder spirit also discovered Ling Xiao and the other two, and its eyes revealed a trace of curiosity. In an instant, it flashed and directly appeared above Feng Qingyang's head. It then sat on Feng Qingyang's head and wantonly scratched Feng Qingyang's hair with its two little claws. Ling Xiao and the other two had used the heaven-shrouding secret technique, and at this moment, their bodies were also exuding the aura of the Thunder Tao origin. In the rabbit thunder spirit's perception, Ling Xiao and the other two were also thunder spirits, but they didn't seem to be thunder entities, which made the rabbit thunder spirit very curious. This rabbit is really terrifying. Cold sweat trickled down Feng Qingyang's back. The rabbit thunder spirit appeared on top of his head. The white thunder easily penetrated his divine astral shield, making him feel the threat of death. Feng Qingyang didn't move, fearing that the rabbit thunder spirit would come into close contact with him, and then he was afraid that he would directly die. "Who told you to shout so loudly?" Ling Xiao said to Feng Qingyang in a somewhat funny manner. The rabbit thunder spirit wouldn't have noticed this kid if he hadn't shouted so loudly. "Big brother, don't make sarcastic remarks. Quickly help me get rid of this damned rabbit." Feng Qingyang was about to cry, and said to Ling Xiao, "I'm afraid that this rabbit is a Sage Realm thunder spirit. Your luck is very bad. I'm afraid that even I am not its opponent. Now you can only pray that it will leave by itself," Ling Xiao said in a somewhat gloating manner. There was a trace of dignified look in his eyes. This snow-white rabbit was transformed from the Thunder Dao origin, but Ling Xiao could feel that it was almost condensing a flesh and blood body, and its strength was incomparably terrifying. "Don't move. It seems that it is leaving," Yi Qingqing suddenly said to Feng Qingyang. The white rabbit smelled the aura of Feng Qingyang's body, and its little claws lightly patted his head a few times, which scared Feng Qingyang out of his wits, but in the end, the rabbit seemed to feel a little bored, and a ray of light flashed around its body, and directly disappeared from Feng Qingyang's head. It finally left. "This rabbit is simply a spirit. It scared me to death. Let's go quickly. This thunder tribulation sea is too strange." Feng Qingyang's legs turned to jelly, and that white rabbit had completely frightened him. He felt as if he had just brushed shoulders with the god of death. If it wasn't for the Heaven's Punishment secret skill in his heart, Feng Qingyang almost wanted to leave the thunder tribulation sea directly. "Shu, look, there are a few thunder spirits over there. We should be able to give it a try." Ling Zhao's eyes flashed, and he made a shushing gesture to Feng Qingyang, and then pointed to the front and said, "Buzz." In the thunder tribulation sea, there were more than a dozen golden fishes slowly swimming over. These fishes were naturally thunder spirit fishes, the smallest of which was a foot long, and the largest of which was actually 10 feet long, emitting blazing lightning all over its body. These thunder spirit fishes gave Ling Xiao the feeling that they were equivalent to ordinary sages, and the threat they posed was much smaller than that of the white rabbit. Thunder spirits are also rare treasures of heaven and earth. Not only can it temper the body, but it also contains the Thunder Dao origin. You are right. We can give these thunder spirits a try. Chapter 21-25. Kacha. A ray of light flashed in Yi Qingqing's palm, and a mass of golden clouds appeared. It was instantly thrown towards the dozens of thunder spirit fish, and transformed into a huge golden net in the void. He wanted to catch all the thunder spirit fish in one fell swoop. "You guys set up defenses around the area and catch the fish that slipped through the net," Yi Qingqing said to Ling Xiao and Feng Qingyang, and took the initiative to attack. Rumble. As if they felt the threat, the dozen or so fish were very alert. In an instant, lightning exploded around their bodies. Like dozens of arrows, they shot in all directions in an instant, trying to avoid the golden net. However, the golden net was a treasure in Yi Qingqing's hands. It could be as big as he wanted. In an instant, it grew to a size of 10,000 feet and caught the thunder spiritual fish. Kacha. The lightning was blazing and the void was shaking. The thunder spirit fish was shaking violently. In an instant, it emitted a golden divine light and directly broke through the golden net. It flew out of the net. "Ling Xiao, that's the fish king. I'll leave it to you," Yi Qingqing shouted at Ling Xiao as he used the golden net to trap the thunder spirit fish. "Don't worry." Ling Xiao smiled faintly as he charged towards the fish king. His fist imprint bloomed, and it was as majestic as a golden world. A world with a punch. Ling Xiao's fist intent was vast and contained the power to destroy the heavens and earth. It seemed to be able to destroy everything as it enveloped the fish king. The Fish King seemed to have sensed a great threat as well. Blazing divine light rose from its body as bolts of lightning exploded in all directions. Kacha! The void shook violently. The lightning that exploded from the Fish King was extremely terrifying. It was like billions of blades that wanted to cut Ling Xiao into pieces. Ling Xiao's fist print collided with the lightning and the deafening sound of metal clashing could be heard. However, Ling Xiao's vast fist contained a devouring power that devoured all the lightning in the sky. Ling Xiao's body spewed out endless lightning, crackling and rattling as it vibrated. Break! Ling Xiao roared as his eyes flashed with a sharp light. The golden fist landed directly on the Fish King's body, causing it to explode. Rumble! Bolts of lightning were all devoured by Ling Xiao. Boundless lightning surged around Ling Xiao's body. Bolts of pure heavenly law tribulation raged in his body. They were incomparably violent, but they were all suppressed by Ling Xiao. Instead, they were used to refine his body, slowly strengthening it. Phew! These lightning spirits are indeed extraordinary. Ling Xiao's eyes lit up. The thunder spirits in the Thunder Sea were much more powerful than those thunder spirits that Ling Xiao met when he subdued the Thunder Spirit King. The thunder test of the Way of Heaven was much more powerful and pure. Ling Xiao's body, which had almost reached its limit, started to strengthen again. Ling Xiao felt refreshed all over. His primordial spirit and the laws in his body seemed to have been tempered, giving him an indescribable sense of comfort. It was like he had gone through a baptism. What a freak! The power contained in this thunder soul is incomparably violent. It must be refined with a saint pill that contains a majestic life essence. This guy is too fierce. Yi Qingqing's eyes were filled with disbelief. Even though she knew that Ling Xiao's body was extremely strong, she did not expect it to be this strong. This guy is a freak. Not to mention refining the thunder spirits, I wouldn't be surprised even if he swallowed them whole. Feng Qingyang seemed to have gotten used to it. These thunder spirit fish are not bad. They are suitable for us to refine. For each of us. Be careful when you refine them. Yi Qingqing said slowly. Her golden net had suppressed 12 thunder spirit fish. She took out 8 of them and gave them to Ling Xiao and Feng Qingyang. I don't need them. I have already taken advantage of this Fish King. Ling Xiao said with a faint smile. Take them. They are just some ordinary thunder spirits. There are more thunder spirits waiting for us. Yi Qingqing said with a smile and stuffed them into Ling Xiao's arms without any explanation. Master, if you don't want them, give them to me. These lightning spirits look like unparalleled delicacies with a single glance. They are great supplements. Thunder Spirit King, who was in the Flipping Sky Seal, could not wait to speak to Ling Xiao. His eyes were full of excitement. No problem. You can have them all. But I will have to rely on you to capture the thunder spirits. Ling Xiao said with a smile and gave the 4 thunder spirit fish to Thunder Spirit King. Hee, don't worry, Master. How dare a mere thunder spirit act so presumptuously in front of me? It is simply courting death. As long as it is not that rabbit just now, no matter how many thunder spirits there are, they will all die. Thunder Spirit King said with a proud smile. You are also afraid of that rabbit? What is the origin of that rabbit? Ling Xiao asked curiously. Master, I am not too sure. But I feel that if it wants to kill us, it will be as difficult as killing an ant. Thunder Spirit King said with a wry smile. That rabbit is so strong? Ling Xiao's heart trembled, and his expression became somewhat grave. But don't worry, Master. There are not many rabbits in the entire Thunder Ocean. This Thunder Ocean is destined to be our food. I'm here. Why don't you all kneel down and greet me? Thunder Spirit King comforted him. At the same time, his body was surrounded by blazing lightning. His eyes were like lightning as he released his strongest power. Boom! It was as if the cyclic sky seal had been revived. Divine chains of order rose into the sky and pressed down on the Thunder Calamity Sea. In an instant, huge waves shot out. The thunder spirits hidden in the Thunder Ocean were instantly alarmed. They all wanted to run away crazily. There were animal-shaped thunder spirits and plant-shaped thunder spirits. They looked different and very strange. They all felt the pressure of Thunder Spirit King and wanted to run away instinctively. Want to run away? It's better for you to obediently come into my belly. Thunder Spirit King sneered. In an instant, the flipping sky seal shone with boundless light. The divine chains of order intertwined with each other and flew across the void at an extremely fast speed. They were like ropes that bound all the thunder spirits that had rushed out from the Thunder Sea. Swallow them! Thunder Spirit King in the flipping sky seal shouted. The flipping sky seal trembled slightly and emitted blazing runes. It formed a vast whirlpool around and swallowed all the thunder spirits into the flipping sky seal. The thunder spirits' incomparably vast and pure energy flowed endlessly into Ling Zhao's body, causing his aura to rise explosively. This fellow, does he want to attract all of the lightning spirits? Yi Qingqing and Feng Qingyang looked at each other before they laughed bitterly and said, they originally wanted to keep a low profile and catch thunder spirits to cultivate. However, after Ling Zhao's actions, they could no longer keep a low profile. Chapter 21-26. Rumble. The Thunder Spirit King controlled the flipping sky seal and moved freely in the Thunder Calamity Sea. The Extreme Emperor's aura of the flipping sky seal was activated and contained a supreme power that could suppress everything. The lightning in the Thunder Calamity Sea was dazzling as if it was boiling. Divine chains of order traversed the void and the terrifying aura made people's hearts tremble. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The powerful thunder spirits were all alarmed and rushed out from the Thunder Calamity Sea. They all felt the terrifying power of the flipping sky seal and knew it was not easy to deal with. So, they all ran away. However, how could the Thunder Spirit King allow them to run away? In the flipping sky seal, rays of blazing divine light shot out and intertwined with each other to form a huge thunder net. It covered the sky and covered the earth, and all the thunder spirits were trapped in it. The vast Extreme Emperor's aura swept out and annihilated the thunder spirits in the thunder net in an instant. It formed a blazing energy storm. The void shook violently. The peerless divine aura of the flipping sky seal shocked Ling Zhao. Crazy, this is crazy. The Thunder Spirit King, this guy, looks like he doesn't care about his life when he sees the thunder spirits. Ling Zhao said with a wry smile. Those thunder spirits had a fatal attraction to the Thunder Spirit King. It allowed the Thunder Spirit King to unleash the peerless divine aura of the flipping sky seal that could suppress everything. Those ordinary thunder spirits had no way to resist the suppression of the flipping sky seal and turned into dust. Around the flipping sky seal, there seemed to be a dazzling energy vortex that devoured all the lightning in the sky. Ling Zhao could feel that after devouring those thunder spirits, the Thunder Spirit King seemed to have taken a great tonic. His aura began to soar and he was getting better at controlling the flipping sky seal. Moreover, the Thunder Spirit King still had a conscience. He did not devour all the thunder spirits but poured all the energy into Ling Zhao's body. Ling Zhao performed the sky-shrouding secret skill. His body was surrounded by blazing lightning and his pores had lightning shooting out. His aura was majestic and mysterious as he continued to refine the majestic energy of the thunder spirits. Ling Zhao's physical body had become extremely strong after going through the primal chaos body refinement. However, after devouring the power of the thunder soul, his physical body had been refined to a certain extent and was slowly becoming stronger again. Breaking the limit, treading 3 realms. Ling Zhao suddenly had an epiphany, causing the terrifying saint energy around him to rise. It was as if his essence, qi, and spirit were about to merge into one at this moment. However, Ling Zhao's body, laws, and soul were all extremely powerful. They were like 3 extremely thick ropes, so it was not that easy to condense them into one. Ling Zhao's accumulation was too strong, so much so that it was much harder for him to break through the limits and advance to the 3 levels of heaven treading than ordinary people. However, Ling Zhao could already vaguely see the path ahead. It was as if he had experienced an epiphany, causing his aura to become ethereal and mysterious. It was as if he had been reborn. This is a good chance. We can take advantage of this opportunity to refine some more Thunder Souls. Yi Qingqing and Feng Qingyang exchanged glances with each other. Their eyes revealed an incomparably bright expression as they similarly began to capture the fleeing lightning spirits in the surroundings. Originally, the Thunder Souls were hidden in the depths of the Thunder Calamity Sea. It was not that easy to capture them. However, the Thunder Spirit King controlled the Flipping Sky Seal to wreak havoc in the Thunder Calamity Sea, attracting countless powerful Thunder Souls. Yi Qingqing and Feng Qingyang's strength was only slightly weaker than Ling Zhao's. They were both Heaven's Pride experts who had reached the 3 levels of Heaven Treading. Each of their strength was extremely terrifying. Boom! Ling Zhao, Yi Qingqing, and Feng Qingyang were all enveloped by lightning at this moment. The Flipping Sky Seal floated above their heads, blooming with boundless light. Chaotic chi rose, constantly devouring those powerful Thunder Souls. The aura of the 3 people was getting stronger and stronger. Especially Ling Zhao's epiphany, he saw the possibility of breaking through the 3 levels of Heaven Treading. It would not be long before he could break through the limit and reach the 3 levels of Heaven Treading. Just like this, Ling Zhao and the other 2 devoured the Thunder Souls as they flew towards the depths of the Thunder Calamity Sea. The Thunder Spirit King seemed to be able to sense the strength of the Thunder Spirit, so he didn't go all the way. Instead, he carefully avoided a few places in the Thunder Calamity Sea. The powerful Thunder Spirit King was extremely afraid of those places. The Thunder Calamity Sea was extremely vast and majestic. Even Yi Qingqing did not know how big it was. However, they could feel that the Thunder Souls they encountered in the Thunder Calamity Sea were getting stronger and stronger. In the end, even the Flipping Sky Seal burst out with supreme divine power, and it became somewhat difficult to suppress a Thunder Soul. That is, Heaven Punishing Mountain? Yi Qingqing suddenly exclaimed. His eyes were filled with incomparable excitement. Boom! Not far away, there was an ancient and mysterious mountain. It was surrounded by lightning and thunder, rumbling and shaking. All kinds of strange runes were shining on it, intertwining with the power of the Great Way Law. That mountain seemed to be the center of the entire Thunder Calamity Sea. It contained a mysterious fluctuation of power, causing the surrounding void to distort. A mysterious and vast aura gushed out, causing everyone to tremble. Their eyes were filled with disbelief. Heaven Punishing Mountain? The supreme sacred mountain that contains the power of the Thunder Principle origin and records the Heaven Punishing secret skill? Ling Zhao's eyes revealed a trace of astonishment. He could feel that the Tianfa mountain in front of him looked very unusual. Its entire body was formed by the source of thunder. It was not a real mountain peak. Bolts of lightning intertwined, and mysterious runes rose. It was as if they could annihilate all life. This mountain contained a majestic mark of the Great Way. It was extremely unusual. The Heaven Punishing Mountain was tens of thousands of feet high. It sat on top of the Thunder Calamity Sea. There seemed to be a huge sun hanging at the top of the mountain, emitting blazing light. When Ling Zhao and the other 2 arrived in front of the Heaven Punishing Mountain, they felt a sense of insignificance. It was as if they were ants looking up at a divine dragon. The Heaven Punishing Mountain is an opportunity and also a challenge. You can only rely on yourself to reach the peak. There are inscriptions of the Heaven Punishing secret skill on the top of the mountain. Yi Qingqing took a deep breath and said excitedly, "Then what are we waiting for? Let's go up the mountain." Ling Zhao said with a faint smile. His eyes were filled with strong fighting spirit. He instantly leaped up and flew toward the top of the Heaven Punishing Mountain. Gotcha! Ling Zhao's actions seemed to have triggered some kind of vast law of heaven and earth. It instantly caused the surrounding void to tremble. Runes rose and turned into the most terrifying destructive power, suppressing Ling Zhao. Chapter 21-27. Yi Qingqing and Feng Qingyang were nowhere to be seen. Heaven Punishment Mountain contained a strange law. It was both a crisis and an opportunity. One had to reach the peak to obtain the fortune on Heaven Punishment Mountain, and this process could only be tested by one person. Therefore, although Ling Xiao, Yi Qingqing, and Feng Qingyang came to Heaven Punishment Mountain at the same time, the moment they climbed the mountain, they lost contact with each other. Perhaps, only by reaching the peak of Heaven Punishment Mountain could they meet again. Ling Xiao didn't continue to fly, but walked up the steps of Heaven Punishment Mountain. It was impossible to fly directly to Heaven Punishment Mountain, as it would trigger the order of the Great Tao on Heaven Punishment Mountain, and the endless power of destruction would descend. Even Ling Xiao couldn't withstand it. Ling Xiao's pace was extremely fast. One step was more than 100 feet, leaving behind afterimages in the void. He shuttled through the endless thunderbolts and headed towards the peak. Gotcha! The surrounding thunderbolts were terrifying. At first, it was red lightning that burned like flames. Then, it became orange lightning that could penetrate the heaven and earth and break open the void. The higher he went, the more terrifying the thunderbolts were. Ling Xiao experienced the red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue, and purple lightning. He also stepped onto Heaven Punishment Mountain, which was 70,000 feet high. Around him was a sea of thunderbolts, densely intertwined, emitting mysterious symbols. It was as if there was nothing but thunderbolts in the sky. At 80,000 feet, the black lightning intertwined with each other. It was so thick that it was like ink that could not be dissolved. It shook the sky in all directions and contained a pure destructive power. Ling Xiao's blood and qi were boiling as he unleashed his most powerful strength. He even used the flipping sky seal, the fighting heaven skill and the sky swallowing secret skill, and the fist of the celestial emperor to strike the 9 heavens. It was not easy for him to break through, but his body was still badly mutilated. He was almost pierced by the lightning. At 9,000 feet, the white lightning was like endless light. Endless chaos interweaved, like the first bolt of lightning that split the world apart. It contained the pure laws of the way, striking Ling Xiao's body, causing his flesh and blood to rapidly melt away. All that was left was a translucent skeleton that was suffused with the color of chaos. Ling Xiao's eye sockets were deep, as if there were only 2 black and white lights intertwining. He could see the last 1,000 feet, which was the peak of Heaven Punishment Mountain. As long as he walked through the last 1,000 feet, he could reach the peak. However, the last 1,000 feet were shrouded in chaotic thunderbolts, showing the luster of chaos. It was a kind of power that made people despair. It was as if as long as he stepped into it, he would be instantly turned to dust, never to be reincarnated. The peak of Heaven Punishment Mountain? If I can't even conquer a small mountain, how can I suppress all the worlds? Ling Xiao's eyes shone with an unparalleled sharpness as he strode forward. Boom, boom. Heaven Punishment, Heaven Punishment, Heaven to the peak, as Heaven Punishment Mountain to heaven and earth. Heaven Punishment, Heaven, 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 Heaven Punishment, Heaven to Heaven Punishment Mountain. Ling Xiao could feel that his bones, which had been tempered by the primal chaos, were about to fall apart and return to the primal chaos. His soul was on the verge of dying out. His heart force began to dry up, and the laws of the Grand Tao within him were assimilated. Even the indestructible body that he relied on to dominate the world began to slowly crumble. Essence, qi, spirit, heart. If all 4 of these collapsed, Ling Xiao would be completely obliterated by heaven and earth, leaving no trace behind. This was a great danger, a great terror. It made Ling Xiao feel like he was about to be destroyed, and he felt like he was about to die. His heart began to calm down, and his footsteps were still firm. Even if his arms were slowly disappearing, pierced by the chaotic thunderbolts, he did not stop. Chaos as the body, destiny as the Tao. Karma refines the heart, reincarnation as the spirit. In Ling Xiao's sea of consciousness, a voice like a great bell rang out, giving him a kind of enlightenment. His aura became incomparably ethereal and mysterious. Chaotic light rose from his body, and the great path in his body exuded a taste of the void of destiny. With a single thought, he seemed to be able to comprehend the karma of the heavens. His primordial spirit would reincarnate eternally. 4 mysterious forces intertwined. They seemed invisible and intangible, but they seemed to form a mysterious force in Ling Xiao's body. It was a mysterious flame with 10 different colors. It was as thin as a strand of hair, but it exuded an aura of eternity. After it overflowed from Ling Zhao's body, it caused the surrounding void to tremble. Even the chaotic thunderbolts seemed to be boiling. Rumble! The heavens and earth were enraged. Above Tian Fa Mountain, mysterious symbols of the Great Path intertwined, containing a supreme power that could destroy the heavens and earth. It was as if they were going to envelop Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao remained calm and smiled faintly. 10 colored flames spread out and enveloped him. Then, he took a step and disappeared into the chaotic lightning. In the next moment, Ling Xiao's body flickered with light, and he appeared above Tian Fa Mountain. He had reached the peak, and the experience in the chaotic lightning was like a dream. His body, great path, primordial spirit, and heart power were all filled to the brim. They had reached the peak state, and there was no damage at all. His white robe fluttered in the wind, and his black hair danced in the wind. A mysterious light surged around his body, making him look like an ancient great emperor that could suppress the ages and be eternal and indestructible. That wasn't a dream, nor was it an illusion. It really existed. Ling Zhao's eyes flickered as he whispered to himself. He stretched out his palm, and a 10-colored flame appeared in his palm. It looked very small, but there were layers upon layers. It was like a celestial flower of the Great Path, and it also seemed to contain the endless life and death of the world. It was so beautiful that one couldn't help but be immersed in it. This power can dominate chaos, destiny, karma, and reincarnation. It encompasses the heavens and earth. Let's call it the power of domination. Ling Xiao said softly. Rumble. As soon as he finished speaking, endless lightning intertwined around him, and the sky was filled with divine light. Symbols of the Great Path seemed to fall from the 9 heavens and kill him completely. Lightning poured down from the 9 heavens like a waterfall. It was so dense that it could suppress all living things, and it enveloped Tian Fa Mountain. It was as if Ling Zhao's words had touched some taboo, and the heavenly path was enraged and wanted to punish him. Ling Xiao held the 10-colored flame in his hand, and he was bathed in a mysterious brilliance. Endless lightning intertwined around him, but it couldn't do any harm to him. Chapter 21-28. At the peak of Tiananmen, there was a vast sea of thunder and lightning all around, and the sky was filled with destructive lightning. Vaguely, it seemed to form a mysterious eye, emitting 9-colored light. At this moment, it was staring at Ling Xiao with indifference. There was nothing on the top of Tian Fa Mountain. There was only the lightning that filled the sky and the eye that was emitting 9-colored light in the sky. Where is the Tian Fa secret skill? Ling Xiao muttered to himself. His eyes gleamed with sharpness as he raised his head to look at the eye in the sky. He could already feel the wordless heavenly book trembling slightly, becoming more and more excited. The mysterious light flickered and shook in Ling Zhao's sea of consciousness, as if it wanted to rush out of Ling Zhao's sea of consciousness. Ling Xiao did not stop the wordless heavenly book. A mysterious light gushed out from between his eyebrows, and the wordless heavenly book flew out. Boom! The wordless heavenly book appeared in the void. In an instant, it bloomed with a blazing light. The mysterious runes intertwined with each other as if a flame was gushing out of it. Then, it actually rushed towards the eye in the 9th heaven. Gotcha! The sky seemed to shatter in an instant. The wordless heavenly book emitted 9-colored divine light, and its aura was ancient and mysterious. A terrifying fluctuation similar to the extreme emperor's aura erupted, as if it wanted to completely blow up the eye. Boom! The eye seemed to be enraged, and hundreds of millions of lightning bolts burst out from the sky. The lightning bolts intertwined with a mysterious light, like the great Tao. The runes rose up and were about to compete with the wordless heavenly book. The wordless heavenly book slowly unfolded in the void, and there seemed to be a vast vortex in it, swallowing all the lightning in the sky. That eye, could it be some kind of treasure? Ling Xiao was shocked, and his eyes were full of disbelief. To be able to compete with the wordless heavenly book and not be at a disadvantage, Ling Xiao had only seen the origin demon bone so far. Now that this eye could compete with the wordless heavenly book, Ling Xiao was extremely shocked. Moreover, the eye in the void trembled slightly, as if it wanted to open, and a vast and terrifying emperor's aura escaped from it. Gotcha! That eye was completely opened. A blazing light shot out from it, as if it was splitting the sky and earth. In an instant, the world was as bright as day, and the chaos in the surroundings seemed to have disappeared. No one could describe that amazing light. Even Ling Xiao felt that he was instantly blinded, and he lost all his senses. A mysterious light beam shot out from the eye, as if it was a punishment, and fell on the wordless heavenly book. The wordless heavenly book trembled violently. Page after page opened up in the void. It was as if every page contained a world. It swallowed up all the divine light of the heavenly punishment. It was as if flames of fury were gushing out from the eyes. They turned into blazing runes that were as bright as the sun as they came crashing down from the sky. The heavenly book, the heavenly book with the heavenly book with the heavenly book, the heavenly book. What is that? Ling Xiao's eyes suddenly flashed, and he saw a chaotic mist in the heavenly book. There seemed to be a figure sitting cross-legged in the heavenly book. Although it was very blurry, he could see that it was a young man. After the figure appeared, the power of the heavenly book became more and more terrifying. Lightning fell from the sky, containing endless destructive power, as if it could suppress the wordless heavenly book. Ling Xiao was afraid that something would happen to the wordless heavenly book, so he quickly recalled it. Although the wordless heavenly book was a little reluctant, it seemed to feel that the heavenly book was not to be trifled with. It flew back into Ling Xiao's sea of consciousness unwillingly. Ling Xiao stared at the figure in the heavenly book, and he had a feeling that the young man was about to wake up. Gotcha! Lightning rose in the heavenly book, and chaos filled the air. An ancient door suddenly appeared, as if it led to a mysterious world. The figure in the heavenly book slowly walked out of the door. It was a man who looked perfect. He was wearing a chaotic battle robe and a pair of cloud-treading boots. He had a slender figure, jade-like skin, and an incomparably handsome face. His eyes seemed to have merged with the heavenly book in the heavenly book. They were mysterious, majestic, indifferent, and insufferably arrogant. He exuded an ethereal and otherworldly temperament. He bathed in the lightning in the sky, as if an emperor had descended to the mortal world. Tianzi! Ling Xiao's eyes were shocked, and he revealed a look of disbelief. The sharpness in his eyes was unparalleled, as if it could pierce the sky. He did not expect to see the Tianzi here, although this was only the Taoist body of the Tianzi. "Aunt, you recognize me?" The Tianzi looked at Ling Xiao indifferently. His eyes were calm and deep, and his expression was indifferent. It was as if he did not take Ling Xiao seriously at all. "Of course I recognize you, but I'm afraid that your Taoist body does not recognize me. Hand over the divine punishment secret skill, or don't blame me for being rude," Ling Xiao said with a cold smile. He could tell that the Son of Heaven's body was extremely powerful. It appeared in the ancient portal like some kind of guardian. Ling Xiao guessed that the Son of Heaven's body might know the whereabouts of the secret skill of heavenly punishment. "You are hostile to me. In that case, I'm afraid you have some grudges with my original body. If you want to get the divine punishment secret skill, it's very simple. You just have to defeat me. But because of your enmity, I have decided to kill you right here and now. And how do you want to die?" The Tianzi said indifferently. "Kill me? You are as arrogant as ever. Fine, I'll kill your Taoist body today. Consider it as collecting some interest first." Ling Xiao's eyes were filled with coldness, and he was ready to attack. Although he did not know why the Tianzi Taoist body was here, it was enough to know that he could get the divine punishment secret skill by defeating the Tianzi Taoist body. Blazing lightning rose around Ling Xiao as he walked toward the Tianzi step by step. The aura in his body began to accumulate, climbing to the peak. "An ant will be an ant. I am the son of the Tianzi Taoist body. I am the only one in the world. Do you want to hit a stone with an egg? I'll fulfill your wish," the Tianzi said indifferently. His voice was like a vast thunder, as if it could pierce through everything. It was extremely terrifying. Rumble. Bolts of lightning rose around the Tianzi. They were red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, black, and white. The 9-colored lightning spread and finally gathered around him, forming a chaotic lightning. It made his aura more and more terrifying. At this moment, the Tianzi was like the great emperor who controlled the divine punishment. He was going to punish on behalf of the heavens. He was unstoppable. Boom. Chapter 21-29. Let's fight. Ling Zhao's eyes were filled with fighting spirit. His body was surrounded by golden qi and blood. He held the invincible fist print and punched towards Tianzi. Although Tianzi was only a Taoist body, Ling Zhao felt that he was extremely powerful. Tianzi was surrounded by lightning and controlled the power of the origin of thunder. His aura was monstrous, as if he could sweep through everything. The golden fist print was vast and mighty, containing an unparalleled fist intent. It was as if it could cross the sky. Ling Zhao was surrounded by chaotic air, and the fist of the celestial emperor burst out. Ling Zhao knew that Tianzi was powerful, so he used the fist of the celestial emperor right away. You actually got some of the fist intent of the celestial emperor's fist? What a joke! Tianzi sneered. His eyes were blazing. He recognized the vast fist intent that Ling Zhao exuded. He did not dodge and punch towards Ling Zhao as well. Gotcha! The lightning around Tianzi condensed together at this moment and turned into an invincible fist mark above his fist. It was like the sun and moon that broke through the chaos, exuding a brilliant heavenly aura and smashing towards Ling Zhao with an insufferably arrogant momentum. This fist was extremely terrifying. It had the mysterious scene of the universe being destroyed, the heaven and earth returning to chaos, and the reincarnation of 10,000 spirits. It was as if it was going to destroy the world. Is this the real fist of the celestial emperor? Ling Zhao was shocked. Tianzi's fist exuded an aura similar to his. Ling Zhao was almost instantly sure that it was the real fist of the celestial emperor, the invincible fist created by the celestial emperor. In the ancient times, it was a peerless fist technique that had swept through the heavens and suppressed the ages. It was also known as the #1 fist technique in the heavens. The fist of the celestial emperor contained too many mysterious colors. However, until today, although many people knew about the fist of the celestial emperor, and perhaps some had obtained the cultivation method of the fist of the celestial emperor, almost no one had obtained the real fist of the celestial emperor. As the son of the celestial emperor, Tianzi was naturally the only one who had obtained the true inheritance of the fist of the celestial emperor. Even the 9 imperial gates, who claimed to be the descendant of the ancient celestial court, did not have the complete fist of the celestial emperor. As for Ling Zhao's celestial emperor's fist, it was a peerless fist intent that he had comprehended when he was refining his body with the primal chaos and seeing the mirage of heaven and earth during his tribulation. Ling Zhao and Tianzi's fists collided, causing the surrounding space to tremble. A terrifying divine light burst out and turned into 2 dazzling halos that permeated the surroundings. Bolts of lightning exploded, causing Ling Zhao and Tianzi to tremble and retreat at the same time. Refining the body with primordial chaos? You want to walk the path of becoming a saint with your physical body? Ridiculous! Tianzi's eyes flashed coldly. He was extremely sharp. When he saw how strong Ling Zhao's body was, he instantly saw through Ling Zhao's background. He knew that Ling Zhao wanted to walk the path of a saint physique. In order for one's flesh to reach the sacred realm, one must comprehend the Tao of primordial chaos. Only then would one be able to break through the limits and become a peerless saint. You talk too much. Ling Zhao said coldly. His qi and blood rose, emitting endless golden light. Light flashed under his feet, as if there were billions of worlds being created and destroyed. He quickly flew towards Tianzi. Sensing Tianzi's heavenly sovereign fist, Ling Zhao was not afraid at all. Instead, the battle intent in his heart was aroused. He pulled himself together and unleashed his unparalleled physical strength. His fists hit the flesh as he attacked Tianzi. Rumble! Ling Xiao and Tianzi's speed was extremely fast. It was like two dazzling balls of light colliding in the void. Every strike caused the sky to tremble, and the surrounding lightning began to roar. Ling Xiao and Tianzi were bathed in lightning. The origin of the Tao of Thunder here did not seem to be able to cause any harm to them. Instead, it made their aura even sharper. Ling Xiao was like a golden divine dragon. His dragon aura was vast. His fists were unparalleled, as if they could break through the 9 heavens and step on the 9 underworlds. His aura was extremely violent. On the other hand, Tianzi was like a divine demon that could destroy the world. His every move contained the power of the Tao of Heaven. His fists were grand and majestic. It was incomparably upright, but it was impossible to resist. The two of them fought from the top of Tian Fa mountain all the way to the sky. The speed of their attacks became faster and faster, causing the surrounding lightning to explode. What is that? On the mountainside of Tian Fa mountain, the two figures who were climbing to the peak raised their heads at the same time. Their eyes were filled with incomparable shock. The two figures were Yi Qingqing and Feng Qingyang. After experiencing the black and white lightning, they had reached their limit. Facing the last 1,000 feet of chaotic lightning, they both stopped. They had a premonition that if they dared to step into the chaotic lightning, they would die instantly. However, the attraction of the Tian Fa secret technique made the two of them extremely unwilling to give up. Just when they were in a dilemma, the terrifying scene that erupted at the peak of Tian Fa attracted their attention. That is, who is Ling Xiao fighting with? Feng Qingyang exclaimed. He could not believe his eyes. Ling Xiao had actually reached the peak of Tian Fa mountain. At this moment, the figure who was fighting with Ling Xiao was extremely powerful. In terms of aura, it was even stronger than Ling Xiao. How did they manage to break through the chaotic lightning on the peak of Tian Fa mountain? Yi Qingqing was somewhat incredulous. No one knew better than him how terrifying the chaotic lightning on the peak of Tian Fa mountain was. It was the origin power that could directly kill a sage. However, at this moment, the battle between Ling Xiao and Tianzi had shattered the chaotic lightning all over the sky. Boom! After another fierce collision, Ling Xiao and Tianzi were both thrown back at the same time. They were still evenly matched, but Tianzi's aura had become somewhat chaotic. The coldness in his eyes became more and more intense. If my original body was here, you would already be dead. Tianzi said indifferently, with killing intent flickering in his eyes. His Heaven Emperor's fist was personally taught by the Heaven Emperor. It was extremely ferocious and overbearing. It almost had the supreme power to shatter the heavens and reopen the chaos. However, the strength of his Taoist body was not strong. When fighting with Ling Xiao, he actually felt powerless. The more Ling Xiao fought, the stronger he became. His battle intent was monstrous, as if he did not know fatigue at all. However, the strength of this Taoist body was somewhat weak. If your original body was here, I would just kill you together. Ling Xiao sneered. The aura around him boiled to the extreme. He punched out with both of his fists. Like a divine dragon emerging from the sea, 2 golden rays struck horizontally like lightning, directly towards Tianzi's glabella and heart. Chapter 2130. Ling Xiao's aura rose and the golden lightning in his eyes merged with the fist radiance. His fighting spirit reached its peak in an instant. Kill! Tianzi said coldly. He pulled the air and the blazing lightning condensed into a 9-colored spear in his palm. He aimed it at Ling Xiao's heart. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Tianzi was extremely fast. He pulled the 9-colored spear with both hands and shot it out. It was as if he was using his body as a bow and the lightning as an arrow. The 9-colored spear shot towards Ling Xiao continuously. The void was densely packed with spear radiance. It was blazing and overbearing. It was difficult to defend against. It was as if one could only take it head-on. Gotcha! Ling Zhao's punch was extremely fast. With a single punch, he directly blew up a 9-colored divine spear, turning it into streaks of lightning. His entire being left behind a series of afterimages in the void. His speed was extremely fast, and his punches were like lightning. Crackling sounds could be heard in the void, and the spear lights that filled the sky were all shattered very quickly. Immortal! Tianzi roared. With a push of his arms, dazzling lightning flashed in the surroundings, transforming into a vast starry sky. Tianzi pushed the sun, moon, and stars as he moved forward. Chaos chi filled the air, causing his aura to become even more majestic and mysterious. The 9-colored spears that were destroyed by Ling Zhao suddenly appeared in the void again. They intertwined into a rain of swords and shot towards Ling Zhao's vital points. The 9-colored spears were filled with an immortal fluctuation. At the same time, a blazing 9-colored flame spread out and wanted to burn Ling Zhao to ashes. That kind of immortal sharpness made Ling Zhao's skin feel cold, and his entire body trembled incessantly. Open! Golden flames spurted out from Ling Zhao's body. They were filled with the Great Way and intertwined with the divine chains of order. They rose into the air and formed a 3-legged, 2-eared cauldron in the void. It was round and simple, and it was buzzing. The Emperor Yen cauldron had appeared. Ling Zhao used the Fighting Heaven skill to create the supreme true meaning of the Emperor Yen cauldron. It covered his body, and the spears in the sky all hit the Emperor Yen cauldron. Rumble! The flame Emperor cauldron trembled violently, and ripples appeared on the surrounding golden flames. The runes exploded one after another, and the flame Emperor cauldron looked like it was going to collapse at any moment. Ling Zhao clasped his palms together, and a mysterious and brilliant light burst out from his palms. The Yen Emperor cauldron suddenly expanded, and finally exploded like a small sun. With Ling Zhao as the center, a terrifying explosion radiated in all directions, obliterating all the light. The 9-colored divine spears that filled the sky were also blasted into nothingness. Chi! Amidst the resplendent light, Ling Zhao's fingers were like swords. Sword chi spread out for 30,000 miles, and cold light shot out in all directions. It was as if billions of starlight were slashing down toward the Son of Heaven at the same time. At the same time, the sword light that filled the sky split apart and formed a mysterious chaotic vortex. It constantly devoured the surrounding lightning, causing the sword light to grow larger and more terrifying. When the sword energy appeared above Tianzi's head, it almost split the heaven and earth apart. It wanted to slash the myriad worlds apart. Swordsmanship? Even if it's a sword technique, you won't be able to do it. The Son of Heaven said indifferently. His eyes were extremely cold, as if he was not surprised by Ling Zhao's sudden attack. He stretched out his jade-white hand, and lightning gathered in his palm, instantly forming an ancient sword of lightning. As he slowly lifted it up, wind and thunder rumbled around him, and a vast and mysterious sword intent rose up. The Son of Heaven held the ancient lightning sword in his hand, like an ancient emperor who ruled over all living things. The peerless sword essence was grand and majestic, representing the heavenly punishment of the heavens, the eternal prosperity of humanity, the infinite light, justice, and strength. The sword slashed down toward Ling Zhao. Celestial Emperor's Sword of Human Sovereign. The mysterious and ancient syllables exploded in the void. It was like a vast heavenly power, causing the entire Heaven Punishment Mountain to tremble violently. Rumble! The lightning that filled the sky exploded. Even the most fundamental power of the Way of Lightning was annihilated at this moment. Ling Zhao's peerless sword energy that could destroy the heavens and earth was extremely fragile and exploded into a rain of light. Celestial Emperor's Sword of Human Sovereign? It's actually the Celestial Emperor's Sword of Human Sovereign? Ling Zhao's heart was filled with disbelief, and his gaze became extremely solemn. The Celestial Emperor's Human Sovereign Sword was the peerless sword technique of the Celestial Emperor. It was the supreme sword principle that the Celestial Emperor cultivated before he attained the Tao. It contained the majestic fate of the human clan, and its killing power was unparalleled and terrifying. After the Celestial Emperor attained the Tao and became a saint, He abandoned the sword and used his fist to comprehend the Celestial Emperor's fist principle. He was able to suppress the heavens and lead the human clan to prosperity. However, this did not mean that the Celestial Emperor's fist was stronger than the Celestial Emperor's human sovereign sword. The Celestial Emperor's human sovereign sword was a peerless sword principle that represented the fate of the human clan's epic master. It was grand and majestic. In terms of killing power, it was even superior to the Celestial Emperor's fist. Ling Xiao could sense that the streak of light had completely locked onto him. He had no room to dodge at all. Whether he used a secret technique to shift or a secret technique to obscure the sky, he would not be able to dodge the strike. This sword strike contained supreme might, and it represented the punishment of the heavens. It wanted to judge all living beings and make all evil vanish like smoke in the wind. The supreme sword intent seemed to be on the verge of shattering this expanse of chaos. Battle the heavens skill, for symbols return to 1, kill. Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a trace of madness. In front of the supreme sword essence, he felt like an ant, as if he would be completely annihilated at any time. However, he was unwilling to give up. His heart was filled with monstrous fighting spirit. He wanted to break all of this, even if it meant splitting the heavens and earth and shattering the chaos. Rumble. The supreme ferocious aura in Ling Xiao's heart was also stimulated. His blood qi boiled and his eyes were filled with monstrous fighting spirit. In an instant, 4 divine lights shot up into the sky from his body. A vast and mighty emperor's aura erupted and spread across the sky like a raging sea. A cauldron, a saber, a spear, and a sword. The cauldron was the Yen Emperor cauldron. The saber was the 7 killing saber, the spear was the army destroyer spear, and the sword was the sword of greedy wolf. The imprints of the 4 supreme emperor weapons were completely awakened. They were transformed by Ling Xiao using the battle the heavens skill, forming 4 mighty pillars of divine light. They suddenly rushed towards the heavenly emperor and human sovereign sword. Ling Xiao was completely forced into a dangerous situation. He did not hesitate to use the battle the heavens skill to summon the imprints of the 4 great emperor weapons. Kacha! The void collapsed with a loud bang. The lightning that filled the sky was annihilated under the collision of this extreme power. The world became a vast expanse of whiteness. Even the heavenly punishment mountain rumbled and trembled as if it would collapse at any time. Who is that? He actually forced Ling Xiao to use the battle the heavens skill? Feng Qingyang's eyes were filled with disbelief. He even felt his scalp tingling. Even across the vast lightning, he could feel his heart trembling. One could imagine how terrifying the battle was. Chaotic lightning, disperse. Let's go. Yi Qingqing's eyes flashed. He saw that the attack of Ling Xiao and Tianzi had caused the chaotic lightning that shrouded the heavens punishing mountain to disperse temporarily. Chapter 2131. At the peak of Tian Fa, Yi Qingqing and Feng Qingyang finally saw the figure fighting Ling Xiao. The two of them couldn't help but tremble, their eyes filled with shock. That's Tianzi. Tianzi was famous in the chaotic ancient land. He was the most dazzling ancient heaven's pride. He was even known as the one most likely to become the chosen one. Yi Qingqing and Feng Qingyang naturally recognized him. They did not expect that the one fighting Ling Xiao would be Tianzi. It's not Tianzi's true body. It's just a Taoist body. Legend has it that Tianzi has broken the limit 3 times and ascended to the heavenly realm. If his true body is here, I'm afraid Ling Xiao might not be his match. Yi Qingqing said slowly. It's just a Taoist body and it's already so terrifying? The gap is too big. I wonder if Ling Xiao is a match for him? Feng Qingyang smiled bitterly as a sense of defeat rose in his heart. The Son of Heaven's strength made everyone who saw him feel despair. Even many heavenly geniuses, legendary ancient monsters, were overshadowed by the Son of Heaven's radiance. Rumble. In the void, blazing divine light bloomed. Ling Xiao used the heavenly battle skill to create the 4 great emperor weapon imprints and unleashed a peerless divine power that clashed with the heavenly emperor human sovereign sword. This was an extreme collision. There was no shortcut. It was a contest of absolute strength. Ling Xiao began to fight with his life on the line. He felt an indescribable threat from the heavenly human sovereign sword. In the end, the heavenly human sovereign sword and the 4 great emperor weapon imprints were annihilated at the same time. Heavenly battle skill? Using the 4 great emperor weapon imprints to create the heavenly battle skill can indeed unleash the powerful combat strength of the heavenly battle skill. However, external objects are ultimately external objects. Only one's own strength is eternal. Tianzi was sent flying. His figure was a little dim, but his expression was still cold as he said indifferently. After all, what he left behind was only a body of Tao. Using a killing technique like the heavenly Tao human sovereign sword had cost him a great deal of energy, causing him to lose a lot of his power. However, Tianzi felt a little regretful. After all, it was not his true body. Otherwise, if he used the heavenly human sovereign sword, even if he could not kill Ling Xiao, he could still severely injure him. The heavenly human sovereign sword is indeed very strong. But I'm not strong enough to run amok in the world. Son of Heaven, I'll kill your Taoist body today. Ling Xiao laughed coldly. Although his face was a little pale, his eyes grew brighter and brighter. Rumble. Qi and blood rose around him, and a dragon's roar burst out. Every step he took shook the world, and a vast aura exuded from his body. The imprints of the 4 monarch weapons appeared once again, floating above his head. The cauldron, saber, spear, and sword floated up and down, absorbing the essence of heaven and earth. Even though Ling Xiao had no choice but to activate the Celestial Emperor's human sovereign sword, Ling Xiao had cultivated the battle heavenly technique to the grand completion stage. Now, even if he had to pay a huge price, he had to activate the battle heavenly technique again to kill Tianzi. You killed my Taoist body? I'm afraid you don't have the qualifications. Don't you want the Tian Fa secret technique? Today, I'll show you what a true heavenly punishment is. Tianzi said coldly. Chaotic light beams shot out from his eyes, blazing fiercely. Boom! As soon as he finished speaking, the space around him trembled. Bolts of lightning shot out from his body. The emperor rose into the air, surrounded by chaotic qi. Lightning blazed around him, containing vast original power of the way of thunder. Tianzi was like the Thunder Emperor who had been revived. Every move of his contained unfathomable heavenly might. In the void, red, black, white, silver, gold. All kinds of thunderbolts intertwined, finally forming an incomparably huge eye. Ling Xiao's heart skipped a beat. Although that eye did not open, that eye made him feel a strong sense of danger. At the same time, the wordless heavenly book in Ling Xiao's body became excited again. It became extremely hot, as if it had encountered an irresistible delicacy. Eye of Tian Fa. As the Son of Heaven's cold voice rang out, the eye instantly opened. As if it was splitting heaven and earth, endless chaotic light bloomed. Blazing lightning covered the sky. A 9-colored thunderbolt shot out from the eye. It was like a supreme sword light that traversed the 9 heavens, shooting straight towards Ling Xiao. When the 9-colored thunderbolt shot over, it was as if time and space had stopped. A mysterious force sealed the surrounding space. One could only see the gorgeous 9-colored thunderbolt getting brighter and brighter, getting closer and closer. Ling Xiao's body seemed to be fixed. He did not resist at all, allowing the 9-colored thunderbolt to shoot directly into his glabella. Rumble! Lightning exploded in the sky. Heaven and earth shook violently. Billions of thunderbolts turned into chaos, completely drowning Ling Xiao at this moment. It's the Eye of Tian Fa? The legendary supreme divine ability of the Tian Fa secret technique? Yi Qingqing was shocked. His body was trembling, and his eyes were filled with worry. The Eye of Tian Fa was the supreme divine ability of the Tian Fa secret technique. It contained the origin of the way of thunder and was a part of the way of heaven. It had supreme power and could kill everything. There was no way to resist it. It could wipe out all life. Yi Qingqing could not imagine how Ling Xiao would be able to resist the Eye of Tian Fa. This guy won't die just like that, right? Feng Qingyang was also in disbelief. There was a trace of doubt on his face. He had a feeling that Ling Xiao would not die so easily. After all, the psychological trauma that Ling Xiao had caused him was too strong. He had a feeling that Ling Xiao might have other ways to turn things around. It's all over. Ants, the Tian Fa secret technique is not something you can covet. Tian Zi's expression was indifferent. Although his figure was becoming more and more illusory, he still had a high and mighty attitude. He glanced at Yi Qingqing and Feng Qingyang and directly ignored them. Then, he took a step forward and was about to disappear from the peak of Tian Fa. He walked back into the thunderbolts in the sky. Who said it's all over? Suddenly, a calm and indifferent voice sounded. It made Tian Zi's figure tremble and he could not help but turn around. Rumble. In the sky full of thunderbolts, Ling Xiao walked out. His white robes were whiter than snow. His black hair was flying in the wind. His body was bathed in terrifying thunderbolts, but they did not seem to be able to cause him any harm. Ling Xiao's glabella glowed. The 9-colored thunderbolts seemed to have been devoured by something. The light trembled slightly and disappeared without a trace in an instant. Ling Xiao threw a punch at Tianzi. The roar of a dragon and the thunderbolt exploded at the same time. The golden light in the sky gathered into an invincible fist and landed on Tianzi's body. How is this possible? Tianzi's indifferent face finally revealed a trace of shock. It was as if he could not believe everything that had happened in front of him. However, his strength had already been exhausted to the extreme, and he had no way of blocking Ling Xiao's punch. With a look of shock on his face, he was blasted apart by Ling Xiao's punch, turning into a dazzling rain of light. Chapter 2132. Just like that, the Son of Heaven's Tao body was killed by Ling Xiao. The sky was filled with dazzling lightning. Ling Xiao stood in the void and was surrounded by endless chaotic light. He looked like an immortal great emperor, exuding a peerless divine aura. Yi Qingqing and Feng Qingyang were stunned. They found it hard to believe, as if they were in a dream. Who was the Son of Heaven? Legend has it that he was the son of the heavenly emperor and possessed the bloodline of the great emperor. He was extremely talented and had obtained the true inheritance of the heavenly emperor. His strength was unfathomable. Many people believed that this time, the Son of Heaven would be able to defeat all the monstrous geniuses and suppress countless heaven's prides to become the master of the next epoch. Even the Tao avatar of the emperor represented invincibility, and invincibility in the minds of Yi Qingqing and Feng Qingyang, capable of sweeping through everything. Therefore, when they saw the Son of Heaven's Tao body being killed by Ling Xiao, they couldn't believe it. Ling Xiao, he actually killed the Son of Heaven's Tao body. Could it be that he can defeat the Son of Heaven? Yi Qingqing murmured to herself. Her eyes revealed a bright light as she looked at Ling Xiao as if it was the first time she had met him. At this moment, she finally understood that Ling Xiao had held back during the battle. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to hold on for so long. Right now, he is only a 9th revolution half-saint, yet he can kill the Son of Heaven's Tao body. If he has the same cultivation as the Son of Heaven, maybe he really has the strength to fight against the Son of Heaven. Feng Qingyang's eyes were incomparably bright. Even the resentment and unwillingness of being subdued by Ling Xiao and becoming his follower had dissipated a lot. If Ling Xiao could really become the Son of Heaven, then it was very likely that he would become the great emperor in this epoch. He would sweep across the heavens and suppress myriad worlds to become the supreme ruler. Becoming the follower of a future great emperor was an honor that everyone yearned for but couldn't obtain. Rumble! In the void, blazing 9-colored lightning flashed. Ling Xiao stared at the void. Right after he killed the Son of Heaven's Tao body, endless light flashed in the sky. Runes intertwined and formed a golden scripture that instantly shot towards Ling Xiao's forehead. Ling Xiao didn't feel any danger, so he didn't resist and allowed the golden scripture to enter his sea of consciousness. In an instant, Ling Xiao's entire body was drowned by endless lightning. Numerous divine chains of order interweaved together as the laws of the Grand Tao Sword. They contained a vast and terrifying supreme might that seemed capable of annihilating all life, and they contained the might of obliteration. However, in that kind of destruction, there was a kind of endless fluctuation that spread out. It was as if the sky in all directions was shaking, and the world was about to be reopened. It was vast and mysterious. The wordless heavenly book in Ling Zhao's Sea of Consciousness glowed brightly as a mysterious scripture slowly appeared within the wordless heavenly book. Heaven Dipper Rank 6, Heaven's Punishment's Secret Technique. The wordless heavenly book trembled slightly as the mysterious chaotic lightning intertwined, forming an incomparably mysterious eye. In an instant, it shot out from the wordless heavenly book and directly appeared in between Ling Zhao's brows. A vertical eye appeared in between Ling Zhao's brows. It was like a strange lightning symbol. At this moment, it slowly opened, and a bright chaotic light shot out from it. In an instant, it pierced through the void in front of him. It contained a kind of domineering, majestic, ancient, and mysterious aura. Ling Zhao felt as if he had pierced through the 9 heavens in an instant, and also as if he had seen through the 9 serenities in an instant. The third vertical eye made him seem as if he had become a part of the heavenly way. He could punish on behalf of the heavens and possess unparalleled divine power. An incomparably powerful feeling welled up in Ling Zhao's heart. He could feel that even if the son of heaven's Taoist body appeared in front of him again, it would be instantly destroyed by him. When Yi Qingqing and Feng Qingyang were swept by Ling Zhao's third vertical eye, they suddenly felt chills all over their bodies. They couldn't help but tremble, and there was a kind of throbbing in the depths of their souls. It was as if a divine dragon had inadvertently seen ants, which made them feel powerless in their hearts. That's the secret skill of heaven's punishment? Yi Qingqing and Feng Qingyang looked at each other. They were both surprised and delighted, and their eyes were filled with disbelief. After defeating the son of heaven's Taoist body, Ling Zhao finally obtained the real secret skill of heaven's punishment. Rumble. Ling Zhao was shrouded in lightning and was immersed in the mystery of the secret skill of heaven's punishment. He forgot about time, space, and everything else as he sank into the deepest level of Tao comprehension. Mysterious sound waves pervaded around him, and mysterious immortal flowers of the great path floated above the void, making Ling Zhao's aura even more mysterious and unfathomable. The secret skill of heaven's punishment was ranked 6th in the celestial spirits. It could be said that it was the strongest secret skill that Ling Zhao had obtained besides the secret skill of reincarnation. The secret skill of heaven's punishment was a pure secret skill of killing. It was different from the secret skill of reincarnation. It was a punishment on behalf of the heavens. It could control part of the power of the heavenly way, and its power was unparalleled. In Ling Zhao's perception, the divine lightning, 5 elements divine lightning, icy lightning, astral wind lightning, raging flame lightning, yin-yang divine lightning, and chaotic lightning all appeared around Ling Zhao, and he began to comprehend the mystery contained within. Ling Zhao's body became sparkling and translucent. Streaks of lightning entered his body through his flesh and blood, and began to refine his body, making it gradually strengthen. Just as Ling Zhao was comprehending the secret skill of heaven's punishment, in the chaotic ancient land, where the heavenly palace was floating, the son of heaven's body sat cross-legged in the endless chaos, and his body emitted an immortal and eternal aura. Rumble. Every time he spat it out, it was like a heavenly tribulation. It was deafening and possessed supreme divine might. A mysterious starry river appeared around his body. It flickered indeterminately, and the atmosphere was extremely shocking. Ling Zhao? 9 revolution half-saint cultivation, unparalleled physical body, and great mastery of the battle heavenly method. You were able to destroy my son of heaven Tao body. I am becoming more and more curious about the secrets in your body. The son of heaven slowly opened his eyes, and a mysterious light flowed in his eyes. It seemed as if yin and yang qi were rising, and it also seemed like the scene of space and time shattering. It was very mysterious. He muttered to himself. His voice was like brilliant thunder, and it shook the surrounding chaotic heavenly palace. "I hope you won't disappoint me," the Son of Heaven said indifferently. Then he closed his eyes again and sank into a state of cultivation. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.